Hello, chat. I certainly hope anyone can hear me because I've been futzing with the audio again. Woohoo! And I've already had some fun Cyberman echoing from my mic, so it's gonna be one of those days. So yeah, this is Exit to Eden, New World of Darkness / Chronicles of Darkness in space. We're at 6,000 years in the future of the modern Knights, Requiem, Lost, etc. World of Darkness version. Humanity has spread out amongst the stars and colonized vast galaxies and planets and star systems. And then the veil fell after the supernaturals of the cosmos had to fight the true Fae and stop them from conquering the galaxy. Because why wouldn't the true Fae try to do that in this kind of setting? Also known as the Thurizaz. And Thurizaz Wars. But yeah, so the veil is down, the Supernats are out, and on one hand, in the future of humanity, most of the prejudices are gone. There's no more homophobia or transphobia or sexism or racism, except everyone hates Supernats. And also, classism is sort of on steroids. Our player characters are, I think at least our present player characters are all Supernats of one kind or another. And they are either part of or contracted for the moment to Karve Tourism Ltd, which is a tourist company that is a front for an underground railroad that gets Supernats out of worse systems and into better ones, less hateful ones. But those tend to be in the Verge systems, which are literally the edge of known space, and thus the frontier where settlers sort of need Supernats to protect them from all of the big nasties. Not that people in the Expanse systems don't, but we'll get to that later. And our protagonists have been working up to leaving Eden system temporarily to relocate to Limos system, which is in stark contrast to Eden. Eden is a semi-socialist, semi-paradise where it's safe to be an outed Supernat, and the anti-Supernat hatred hasn't really taken root. Despite it being an Expanse system, it is as far out in the Expanse as you can get without falling off into the Verge. The rest of the Expanse wants to fall in line with the core planets. The core planets, which were the first 3 systems colonized by humanity. And in those systems, it is currently illegal to be a supernatural. Which is part of what Karve does, is get people as quickly as possible, as quietly as possible, out of the core and anywhere else. But nowadays, they're been having to get more and more people out of the Expanse and just anywhere else. So speaking of our protagonists, because in the World of Darkness, heroes, not really a thing as much, but could be. Let's go. This is gonna bug me. I don't know why. I have weird brain problems today. And yes, so I'm the GM. I have maybe a neck muscle spasm, maybe a pinched nerve, but it means my brain is intermittently working right now. So we are not launching into the action of the Limos system plotline as I had planned today. But also, we are off next week because I get my vaccine this week, and I don't know what physical state I'll be in by next Saturday, so it sounds like Merkirkwe, when she comes back, will be running something for us on Saturday. We will find. I look forward to being surprised. You know, this happened, and this is why it's nice having a whole group of people to stream with. Like, can someone take over for a week, because I might be dead. Or a puddle of goo. I might be a sentient puddle of goo. I might be that right now. I could be one now, for all I know. That's about where I am mentally. Because when you have a nerve pinch right up here. Oh no. Arcane's here. Arcane, can you hear Dracus or anyone else? Oh no! Holiday don't. God damn it. Well, it's a good thing it's been me talking mostly by myself. Zoom meeting should be up. Your volume is a bit. I'm sure my volume is fucked up too. All right. Hold on. Let me see. Yes, because we've been having audio problems. Okay.
Better or worse?
All right, Arcane the Sage, can you hear them now?
Are we audible? This
Hello.
is the question.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Okay. Because there's also
Cool.
a delay, because just as
Yeah.
you started talking, Arcane was like, oh, I can't hear it. And I'm like, no, but I just fixed it. Yeah, it's... Anyway. So now that you can hear our protagonists, maybe they should introduce themselves. Let's go clockwise. Is that clockwise? It's clockwise on my screen, I think. Dracus, who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Dracus. I'm playing Klaus, the resident asshole mage and medic of the team. And yeah, I actually kind of know what I'm doing now, so this should be fun.
Yoo-hoo! Okay, Puka, who are you playing today?
Hi, I'm Puka. I'm playing Sungrazer, small-time smuggler, and strung out on caffeine and electricity.
Don't forget Klaus is the AI house. Oh, well, we could definitely
yeah.
work on
Well,
that today.
I've decided where I'm at with that, and it's great.
Is it Klaus's house?
The House of Klaus.
Whose house? Klaus's house.
Klaus house.
Klaus lives in an apartment, actually, but you know.
We can fix that.
No, they like it there.
Okay, Zardos, who are you playing today?
I'm playing Holiday, who will soon to be replaced by someone else next week. I am a lawyer who's working for the betterment of many, many other people right now.
And also a part-time piano player.
Yeah, I'm either a full-time piano player, part-time lawyer, or a full-time lawyer, part-time piano player.
Woohoo!
I was not aware of that. I hope that you'll serenade us later.
Oh no, there's a piano on the ship.
Excellent.
Oh, brilliant. I missed that.
My ship, I put 2 points into the ship so that I had a place for my piano, specifically.
Is it like a grand piano? Or
Yeah, it's a full-size grand piano.
All right.
I mean, Avantra owns this ship, technically, so that checks out.
Yeah. Piano used to belong to the Marine Corps. It doesn't anymore.
At least it's not a Nosferatu who owns it, because then we'd have to get like a pipe organ or something.
We could still.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, imagine that in the head reflection, it is a pipe
Oh,
organ.
God. In the hollow,
Brilliant.
there is a pipe organ.
Yeah, in the hollow there's a pipe organ.
Mm-hmm. Because yes, so that brings us to channel points. So chat, you can buy things with channel points that affect the game. You can buy GM plus ones, which are for me, player plus ones, which are for them. Spend 800 channel points to drop a custom NPC. And I have a backlog that I would like to get to today, and we will see how that goes, but my brain is mush. Because all the things I tried to do to alleviate whatever this neck pain is really just stopped the flow of blood to my brain. So it's gonna be one of those games. Yay. If Arcane the Sage, if I pass out on stream, you have permission to come to my apartment and get me out. I have undone the top lock. I wish I was kidding, but we're in the middle of an apocalypse. Anyway. Noted. Thank you.
I sincerely hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah.
Me too!
Let's avoid unconsciousness this week.
I thought the worst thing I'd have to deal with this month was getting my first vaccine dose. Nope.
You also added a new function for the chat points.
Oh yes, and for 1,000 points, you can buy an entry in the pseudo contest to name Karve's ship. Karve, several episodes ago, and maybe a couple of Petruchios ago, accidentally salvaged a ship from a bunch of changeling privateers, a spaceship that had a hollow inside. A hollow being a kind of pocket dimension within the hedge that changelings use as their own, like, kind of extra magical other dimensional safe place. Or safe space. Which is like a vampire haven, only in the hedge, but not. Also, there's a lot going on, and you mix all four mix the four main splats, you have a lot going on. But anyway, this ship has a hollow on it, and that's not how that's supposed to work. So after the local changeling court spent a great deal of time studying it, they're like, well, Karve, do you want the ship, or do you want us to pay you the bounty on having captured us a privateer ship? Karve opted to keep the ship. But this ship, while it is in the process of being refurbished and stocked up for their trip to another system, which will be far less fun, still needs a name. So what we're gonna do is, if you have 1,000 channel points, you can put in your suggestion for a name for the ship. And eventually we will have what I deem to be enough of them, and then the players will vote on it. Because the players are the ones that are going to be stuck with this name, so they do get some editorial control. But, you know, I also like the chaos of letting the chat holes chime in on plot now here and there, and it has led to some fun places. Well, fun for me, let's say.
Less fun for Klaus.
See, what is less fun for Klaus is more fun for me, Dracus.
And see, that's what goes to show you were born to be a World of Darkness player. Woohoo!
I just like putting my characters through hell and watching it play out. It's so much fun.
Woohoo! Yes, Fadir, if you want to spend 1,000 channel points, Shippy McShipface will go into the list. I've also not banned my players from doing this, but I mean, honestly, if their personal accounts are also watching this stream, I am fine with them using channel points all they want.
For the record, isn't Shippy McShipface already on the list?
Well, it's not officially on the list.
Not officially, because we hadn't started the contest until today.
Fair.
Or the
Yes.
contest communal brainstorm session. Here we go.
Naming drive.
Meanwhile, Fadir has already dropped an NPC of the personality of the ship's AI, which will be as close to all the Hollies from Red Dwarf as I can make it. But I've watched a lot of Red Dwarf, although not the most recent ones, so I am confident in my ability to portray this. Holly also periodically changes gender, which is totally on brand for this setting, and is one of my favorite parts because this is a post-gender society.
I love that we finally said fuck gender.
And it only took 6,000 years. Or
Yup.
however long.
Alas.
And 2 major interstellar wars.
Yes. The Thurazaz War in the 1700s, And about 50 years ago, the Silent War. Actually, I dare say the humanity said fuck gender quite a few millennia ago. Like, they had a whole 1,000 years between the Common Era and the previous one, just being stuck on colony ships looking for a planet. They had a lot of time to think and prioritize. And yes. Alright, so last game, everyone was working out plans and resources and trying to broker information before, so they didn't, to not just go into Limos system completely blind. Would anyone like to relate what they learned last session? Actually, was Sungrazer here last session? Yeah, Sungrazer was here. Klaus was not. Okay.
I was not. I cannot do this. I literally have no idea what happened. I wasn't here.
We made plans. We planned for our intrusion and yeah. Holiday made fake IDs.
I made a fake ID for me. Petrucci made fake IDs for the rest of you.
Oh yes, that's right.
Add another name to the list.
Yes, that's what we needed to get to.
I was Guildenstern, I know that.
Klaus, you need to check. You need to pick a new name for your fake identity. As I guess it looks like what you're basically going as. Petruchio is a rich person with a rich asshole with an entourage, and you are their personal medic.
Okay.
Or personal physician.
Okay.
Does that make me the driver?
And Petruchio is Mix Rosencrantz.
So we have Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Excellent.
Was someone Guildenstern? I forget.
That's me, yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, next page.
Yeah.
Good job, Chris.
Puka just said that they were Guildenstern.
Mix Guildenstern. Dune is Derek with a C. Holiday is Masterson, but they've got their own thing going. So yeah, Klaus, you don't need to give it to me right now, but think it over.
I'm thinking.
Okay. On to today's page. Well, I'm not planning to make you all roll a lot today because my brain is mush. You do have 3 PC +1s in your pool. And excellent. Whatever you got from this week's social media postings, which I appreciate, I have 7. But again,
we have 4 now.
I mean, I haven't said you can't do that yet, so that's fair. Like I said, if your accounts are watching our stream, I'm good with this.
I mean, that's a dangerous game because I've been under the impression that I wasn't allowed to get player +1, so I've just been storing up channel points for weeks on end, and I have a lot.
I never said you couldn't, and y'all keep forgetting to use them most of the time anyway, so.
Well, there's only 4. We have to make them count.
Yep. So while everyone was also one thing that so it is still that week leading up to your departure to Limos. Petruchio has been busy building fake ID. Basically, Petruchio is in their nerd den building you all fake IDs, which is not just as simple as making, laminating a fake driver's license. This includes, like, work histories and digital paper trails. And
you have to have the data to go with it.
Oh, yeah. Petruchio,
and it's Petruchio.
Very good at this.
DNA profiles.
Petruchio doesn't leave this sort of thing half done.
Yeah. I mean, it is a useful skill for y'all to have in your company as a secret underground railroad that gets people from dangerous systems into safer ones. Sometimes, a lot of times it's Supernat hate, other times it's like, hey, I really need to disappear. Anywho. And at the same time, Petruchio shook their tree of hacker contacts, trying to get back in contact with their Underground Railroad contacts in Limos, because it's not like this is a new problem, it's just considerably worse over the last couple months. Especially when Sandin, another Expanse system, effectively had a Supernat purge, leading to a whole bunch of changelings and their allies, mostly allied with something called the Church of the Weird, basically stowed away on another changeling's ship, and because they were not allowed to use the jump gate, they spent over a month in deep space. Which is not fun, because this being NWoD, this being Mage the Awakening, either deep space is the Abyss, or it's so much like the Abyss that it is a symbol of the Abyss, and thus it is the Abyss. So spending a month out in deep space is actually a morality breaking point for anyone. Like, mages have some extra problems with it, but yeah. You don't, which is why it's so weird finding a hollow that lives on a ship, because it's just sort of safely nestled inside the ship's bulkhead. But after a month in space, the Abyss would inevitably eat the bulkhead, and you would all lose your minds, turn on each other, etc. Yes,
Put a crimp
Fadir.
in everyone's day.
Yes, Fadir. It's cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Yes. Space is big. And it is empty, and it is the Abyss. But being on a planet shields you with enough bulkhead that the Abyss doesn't just eat you. So is being on a really big space station, or a big enough ship.
Wouldn't be much of a game if things like that, places didn't shield you from that.
Then we would be playing Call of Cthulhu.
You're right.
I mean, there is room for that in the world of darkness.
Allow me to just summon Cthulhu to the screen.
No.
I love my tiny Cthulhu. He
Alright.
vibes on my desk all the time.
So so Petruchio tried catching up with some of their old contacts in the system. Only about a quarter of them are still active. The other 75% have either relocated to another planet. Basically, there's Limos system. Logoi is the main habitated M-class planet that is just covered in a city. It is Coruscant. It is entirely cyberpunk, no grazing land, all buildings everywhere, just a mile-high coating of city over the face of the entire planet. Meanwhile, a slightly M-adjacent planet would be Dysnomia, where there's a shipyard and some habitation domes, but it seems that the Supernats of the system are flocking there, hoping that, well, maybe they'll just leave us alone. So some of their contacts are on that planet, or about another quarter of their contacts are on that planet, so they're not really as active, because, well, they're not on Logoi. And a full half of them have just dis-fucking-peered. And no one's really sure why. It's not even clear that all of them were Supernats or not. But Fallout Toaster? Custom NPC, the Toaster. Actually, that was something Petruchio was thinking of doing anyway. But
oh, that toaster. The toaster from Empty Mountain.
No, the toaster from Red Dwarf.
No. The toaster from Fallout is the toaster from Empty Mountain.
Okay.
You've all lost me on every count.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this is more toasters than I'm familiar with.
I know there's a animated movie about it
A brave little
anthropomorphic
toaster.
toaster, and it scarred me as a child. I don't even remember why at this point, because I watched it once, didn't like that, and didn't ever watch it again.
Oh wait, no, this is Arcane the Sage. That's definitely the Red Dwarf toaster.
Because the Fallout toaster is different, and if I remember correctly, psychotic.
I mean, the Red Dwarf one isn't not psychotic. It's just kind of cuter.
Oh, this one has a cute little high-pitched voice and hates organic life forms.
Oh, okay. This one hasn't quite gotten there yet, but it is very annoyed that Lister bought a talking toaster when he rarely eats toast. Like, would you like some toast?
This is absolutely ridiculous. Thanks for sharing.
It's Red Dwarf. I highly recommend it for your Britcom education.
Okay.
The toaster. I wouldn't be surprised if the Fallout toaster is based on the Red Dwarf toaster. Anyway, in game, mushy brain. That's right. I should set an alarm for break because
That
otherwise
would be appreciated.
I'm gonna forget about it. All right. So meanwhile, Klaus, is there anything that you or in particular are doing to prepare for departure to Limos? Whether gathering information or resources? Because Klaus also has another thing that they're kind of dealing with right now.
Yeah, nothing in particular about this mission. I mean, I'm kind of assuming that everyone else is gonna tell me what to do on this count, and I need to deal with the voice in my head and character decisions.
Mm-hmm. Although I do want to reiterate, if I did not make this clear at a previous game, I am not taking away anyone's background merits or what my OWOD brain still calls like influences, because sanctity of merits. However, they may not work the same way in Limos that they do in Eden system. And Klaus, one thing that did come up is that an organization that very much has its hooks in Limos system is the Archimedes Crime Syndicate.
Right. I blanked out on that this afternoon.
Yup.
So, yeah, probably a little concerned about that too.
I mean, if you're planning to do your side hustle while you're there, I'm not saying you can't.
I'm not sure that's necessarily a good idea this time.
Don't.
I mean, I got in trouble last time, and I feel like the stakes are probably higher.
Stakes. But
so
it does sound like any black market stuff y'all might want to do or draw upon in that system might have to go through them first.
Okay.
And
so I do probably want to get an idea of what their network looks like before I dive into that.
Okay, I think what we came up with last week.
I made a friend. I got a name.
Yes, that's right.
For syndicate contact person.
I did not come up with it because I did not expect this week to be full of migraines and nerve pinches.
You said this was Sarah.
Sarah? Oh, okay. I made it nice and general.
Didn't get a last name, but that was just the contact and then a place to find them.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, you know a Sarah. But yeah, the also what I forget who got this tidbit of information, But it's not just that the Archimedes Syndicate doesn't like competition. It's that if they are too impressed by your prowess in their line of work, you don't get to opt out of their organization.
Love that.
So, yeah. They're like, all talent of this type will be ours or else. And generally, people don't leave except feet first.
We'll just have to be
Got
fairly
it.
confident.
You'll just have to what, Holiday?
Be barely confident.
That's
That's why
unfortunate.
Sungrazer does not take jobs in that system.
Yes, and I believe it was Sungrazer who found out that there are still jobs being pulled in the system, and because Paragon Consolidated, one of the big megacorps and the megacorp for weapons production and manufacture, is a big player, we'll say, in that system. There is a lot of illicit weapons trading and procurement. That might still be going on, but nothing is moving out of the system.
Which is a little bit unsettling, to say the least.
Yup. So,
Troubles are brewing.
And you also learn more about the two, it's Paragon Consolidated and Consolidated, two rather differently focused megacorps who are both fighting over Limos system as an enormous hub of manufacturing. And they have just, basically these two megacorps have been fighting over this system and its resources of manufacturing facilities and manpower for years. Forever, maybe. And yeah. It's unclear whether they are pro or anti-Supernat, but they are definitely not weighing in favor of their rights. And even the unions, which are generally a bastion of safety for Supernats in any Expanse system, are just not getting the contracts they used to of work. Because you don't have to be a Supernat to join a union, but it's unfortunately a clear and easy way to discriminate against them by not allowing union work. Or by not optioning union workers. So yeah, so all that's going on. The ship is still being worked on. Klaus, several games ago, you accidentally uploaded an AI into your brain, which an army of hackers botched trying to remove, and now it is set up shop. You went to a psychiatrist, and who then sent you to an actual, med tech company, because in Eden system, healthcare is free. And potentially anonymous, which is very nice since Klaus may or may not be an escaped synthetic human.
I have so many secrets, it's hilarious. Hence the paranoia.
But Klaus was very smart to just quietly say to the med tech, and they're like, oh, I didn't even hear you say that. Don't worry about it. People have freedom here. People should be free here.
I know what healthcare system I'm existing in.
So yeah, she then tried to just wipe the hard drive, but basically Klaus has a plugin that is effectively just the equivalent of an iPhone in their head.
It's quite ingrained in there.
So I have to stop looking at chat because my train of thought derailed. Blah blah blah. Words, numbers, figures, charts. Wiped hard drive. Yes. So the medtech effectively wiped your hard drive, and this thing was still there. She is completely stymied. She was able to quietly get you an appointment with someone better than her. And we could say that you have an appointment with that person over the course of this week. Meanwhile, Min Buttspace, the AI voice in your head who alternatively, like, goes back and forth from being a journalist to being your guardian angel and is just like, lol, 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 lol. It's very much a, do the thing, do the thing, do the bad thing, do the bad idea!
Yes, I know. I'm horribly curious.
All right, so this might be a radical suggestion, but what if you got another AI, like a Jiminy Cricket AI, and put that in your head too, and then they would kind of like balance out, you know, like the devil and the angel.
He's gonna lead you down the
What
path of
could go?
righteousness.
What could go wrong?
Let them fight.
I mean, if you've tried everything else.
I think one of the problems that this voice in Klaus's head is stopping them from sleeping. 2 voices isn't necessarily going to help that.
No.
Karaoke party in Klaus's head. Oh, yeah. The AI picked that up from another faulty AI in the med tech place of the girl with "My Heart Will Go On" playing over and over in her head in her plugin, in her faulty plugin. Because it's, you know, plugins, you can get them as easily as you can get tattoos, but they can go wrong as easily as tattoos go wrong. But with the additional having a tattoo with a memory chip, oh noes. Oh noes. How many AI does it take to brick the system? My brain doesn't work. I don't remember what that means. Anyway. Hello, Mr. 571Z. So, yeah, Klaus, do you go to the apartment to the leveled up medtech?
Yeah, probably.
Sensible. move.
My goal is either to get rid of or make peace with this asshole in my head, who isn't me. So,
Okay. Well, she gets you in contact, and your psychiatrist follows up with, you know, an additional referral. It's like, yes, do what the medtech says, because, you know, all this stuff works here, because it's a nice place. And you effectively get sent to Eden City General Hospital, which that size would again probably be out in Market Town just for the size of the facility. But yeah, it's very general. It's, you know, just give us your contact info and a name that we can put in our system so we can keep track of your records. And yep, go right into go into the plugins department. And
okay.
and the lights are much brighter. It is a very sterile, the whole thing is just one big sterile environment because hospital. And yeah, you see people also in the waiting room who clearly have more of the people here are more doing prosthetics maintenance or upgrades or repair. And pretty soon the doctor will see you.
Definitely having some shitty hospital coffee in the waiting room.
Yeah, the coffee is still pretty shitty.
It's a staple. It's part of the hospital like aesthetic. You gotta have the shitty coffee, even 6,000 years in the future.
And yeah, Dr. Farnsworth is much of the other tech. He's like, all right, this is Dr. Farnsworth, and yes, I see you have an interesting case. I will take a look. I'm not sure what else I could do, but all right. And he basically hooks you up to a much nicer version of the same one you saw in the clinic, where it's basically just sort of taking a picture of your brain and putting it on a screen. And he tries several times to wipe the heart. And first he's like, do you have backups of your
Yes, I
internal
have
memory?
backups.
Okay, let's do this. And and you can tell, having your own medical training, that this is like the other med tech was not bad at their job, but this is definitely someone who's been doing it for decades longer with much more expensive equipment.
Just
It'll be-
generally more experienced.
Still so terrifying if he comes at you with, let's do this.
Let's do this, yes.
Klaus is so unfazed by everything at this point.
Fair.
They're basically just dissociating, not gonna lie.
And once again, he tries at least 5 times to wipe the. It's like, I do not know why this is. And he is taking also much more granular scans of it for further study, but he still cannot get it to budge. He's like, well, this being Idun system, I do not have direct connection, but there may be a magic component to this, which I am not legally equipped to deal with, or actually equipped to deal with, but please keep us posted, so we can put it in our records in case this happens to someone again. I can do more research as well, but this is, I mean, it is frustrating enough for me. I can only imagine what you are going through right now.
It's not fun.
But you have my sympathy.
Well, if you find somebody who does have the permissions to deal with something magic related, let me know. I'll do my own looking, I guess.
The legality of magic in medicine, or in general in this system, is a little vague. It is not illegal here, but I am not. It is generally it is frowned upon in the medical community to tell a patient to go get magicked up.
Okay.
For legal reasons, I am not allowed to say that, but I mean, for damn obvious reasons, I cannot rule this out. There's a little complicated here, but so much better than in other places, I swear. So.
Well, if it matters to you, I'm fairly convinced myself that it's magic at this point, so I will be looking into that.
Yes, we are allowed to study it, but we are not allowed to prescribe it, basically.
Fair enough.
But do keep us posted, because this is terrible, but it is fascinating.
I understand.
Yeah,
Thanks for trying.
Yes, I'm sorry we could not help you.
What is Min doing at this point as this is going on?
You can't get rid of me. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah.
And it's near, far, wherever you are. And that's about it. Once it learned that song, it is not let up, and it's like, oh my God.
Okay, so I'm gonna pursue magical means next, and I'm not personally capable, especially not in my own state of mind. Do I know where to start looking for somebody who can actually do something about this?
I mean, you know Jasper.
Okay,
But
because I think that's the only mage I even really know.
Klaus doesn't really hang out with other mages because they're
all assholes.
Except maybe Jasper.
I can accept that Jasper is an asshole and also not a bad person. It's possible.
Yeah, Jasper is a mystagogue or Mysterium member. He is also effectively a high-ranking Moros.
Okay, well, I kind of wanted to go talk to Jasper for other reasons anyway, so I suppose that's where I will start.
And did I write down the name of Jasper's bar?
I may have if you didn't, but I don't remember.
I now have a big NPC list.
I have various NPC lists, and they are all scattered.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly the neatest note taker out there.
Oh, that's right. So Jasper Fennell runs a hookah bar called Temperance.
Okay.
And it is very much the Temperance tarot card motif, like as part of the sign. He has that big fancy ornate looking hookah behind the bar that is, very nice display piece, but you now know after it was stolen by an evil abyssal goose that it can be used to trap ghosts. Which is not a surprising thing for a Moros to have.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is the bar and club scene in Eden System is on a 24/7 schedule because, there's a spaceport. So yeah, things are pretty busy at the bar. But Jasper's around, and he has, other people running the bar that can run it when he's like, oh, look, mage stuff.
I love the implication that he just gets, oh, look, mage stuff half the time.
There's a downside to being the nice Moros. To being the approachable Moros.
There is. That would be it.
But he also doesn't seem to mind it that much, at least when it's another Moros who is as yet unaligned to a tradition.
It's perfect for me.
Anyway. Because yes, I forget what the word is in Mage, but Klaus has a path, but not a... I think they're still called traditions.
I believe it's order.
Order, there we go. Klaus does not have an order because Klaus didn't give a fuck.
That answers that question. I put a question mark next to that while I was reading earlier. I was like, is that the same thing? It's like tradition. Order? Question mark? Cool. Got it.
It's tradition in NWoD, but in NWoD your path is your tradition, and it's kind of stupid.
That's confusing.
And sometimes racist and culturally appropriative, but that's old white wolf for you. Anyway. So that's one of the benefits of NWoD over NWoD. Anywho. But yeah, so Jasper's like, hey, what's up? In his, dark skin, shaved head, lots of fun earrings of varying kinds of metal. As a matter mage, you can just sense that there are all sorts of kinds of metal, some of which are not natural. Because Mora's fun, and just wearing a nice long black trench coat, which is probably some form of linen or... No, actually probably some kind of black silk, since this is his indoor trench coat.
His indoor trench coat.
And there are...
I'm here for this.
And there are... there's just people, there's all sorts of tables, all sorts of smoking accoutrements. There is alcohol at the bar, but most people come here to smoke. You smell dozens of different flavored tobaccos and other herbs and spices, and it's just kind of nice and heady and just this really nice chill atmosphere, even though tobacco is typically a stimulant, but there are other things than tobacco being smoked here. And, Klaus having their side hustle is like, oh, that's that thing, and that's that thing, and I didn't know you could flavor that with cloves, but okay.
Wow, I hadn't thought to try that one.
So Jasper sees you at the bar and is like, so you here to hang out, or do you want to talk about something?
I'm afraid I'm here to talk about something.
That's fair.
And, he can tell that Klaus is really going through it. I mean, they haven't slept well in a week, so that kind of thing
Yeah, he
shows.
basically gets halfway through. Sorry, here to talk about. Oh shit. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Klaus, you've had just the unpleasantness of having a voice in your head when you don't want there to be one. But you're still having those weird dreams about, well, working in an alchemical lab, but instead of performing alchemical transitions on materials, it's like a strange liquid mass of data in digital code, and it mixes, it drips, it nebulizes as you keep going through alchemical transformations. And you only really recognize the alchemical equipment because you are a Moros, and that's just like level 0 of being one. Like, these are the symbols that are embedded into your soul, whether you want them to be or not. Some of the constants in this many transformation, just ongoing circle of, I forget what they're called. I almost said transactions. Not wrong, but anyway. One of the constants is this sort of silvery cup or bowl, and also all this kind of old-fashioned chem lab equipment. This, one of those, gas tubes that usually has a regular little gas flame on top, but it seems to be burning in a color that you can't place or identify. You are also still down 1 health level, and you have a -1 to all mental and social rolls for a game. And yeah. And I smell burning, and I really hope that's just a candle going out and not my actual brain. Okay.
That's concerning.
Yeah, it's been a concerning week for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, Octarine Flame, yeah, something like that. So, Jasper leads you, it looks like at first you're going to, there's this kind of, there's the main level of the bar, and then there's sort of ramps and steps that go up to kind of an extra level that seems like a back party room, but the curtains are currently drawn. There are definitely people in there, but they want a bit of privacy. You smell like something like coppery coming from that area, but instead of leading you
Okay.
up there, there's a side door that Jasper leads you into, and it's basically just kind of a stripped down back room. Like, if they served food, this would be a kitchen, but they really just, like, they serve drinks, some of which are non-alcoholic, and like the kind of milky rice drink that I forgot the name of is as close to food as they serve. So, yeah. And he's just, yeah, so there's like, there's like an empty kitchen that is dusty with disuse and covered with other clutter and forms and business stuff. And he just sort of, pulls a stool over to like one of those high steel kitchen tables. And there's another, like, so, the fuck happened to you?
Where to even begin? Mostly, it's this stupid AI thing that ended up in my head, and the, like, text can't get it out of there. So I think it's magic, and I don't really know where to start on that, but it's driving me crazy. Keep saying it's my guardian angel or some bullshit, and I haven't slept in a week. Well, I have. It hasn't been good. And I will relate the broad strokes of the recurring dreams, because I assume that he will be able to make something of that.
It's like, well,
anyway, I don't really know where else to go at this point.
Well, I mean, you're a Moros, so, some of us are more matter, some of us are more death. This, I mean, it's definitely a clue. Your brain is definitely giving you some kind of subconscious clue this is magic something something. Let me think. Who could I send you to for this? So actually, let me take a look first. And
By
he's
all
like, do you
means.
mind? All right, and yeah, he just he basically takes, you know, there's a tiny brazier because of course there is, like, they're burning everything here. And he just kind of, you know, sets some charcoal and tosses some herbs on it. And immediately you kind of sense the atmosphere is charged with something other than fire and smoke. Something more nebulous and subtle that if you weren't magey, you might not pick up on. And then he kind of like blows it in your direction until it is right around you. But it's not unpleasant. Also, Klaus has probably smoked worse.
Oh, definitely.
He's like,
Just hotbox the AI and see if that does the trick.
Can the AI get high with me?
Yeah, the Min is basically like, he can try all he wants. He will not be able to crack this. Lol. You suck, dude. La,
Doing
la,
a
la.
mental eye roll.
Rolling your mind's eye.
Woo! And he regards you for a moment and... Okay, so... He's very carefully studying you. He doesn't look... He's not really betraying any other emotion other than, which is oddly comforting. But Jasper's an oddly comforting presence in general, which is a good thing for a hookah bar owner.
This is good.
So he's not freaking out, but he's also like, huh. And you see him, like, he will occasionally toss other herbs onto the brazier, and then you will almost get a sense of slightly different things going on. Different smells, like you wonder, you know, in your mage brain, it's like, oh, does he use different herbs for different things? That would explain why he runs a hookah bar. You're not sure you've ever actually noticed him doing magic.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, some mages are subtle, but also you're not really that into magic. It just, you know, accidentally saved your life that time. Yet. Like, Jasper's always been, like, not... Jasper's kind of the closest you have to an elder that you like, because he's just very hands-off. He's like, look, people gotta find their own path. I'm not gonna waste energy trying to mold people, because it's annoying. But you as you're thinking about it, you're not sure you've ever seen him do magic before, so this is kind of interesting watching another Moros work.
Despite myself, I'm taking mental notes.
Yeah. But being a Moros and a Matter mage, Jasper, if one thing you've gleaned from Jasper, it's that every mage's paradigm is very personal. So, you know, people gain their own ideas all the time, but it's like, you know, we are the Matter mages. Matter unto itself is an impure, crude substance, but it is sometimes the impurities are sometimes weakness, sometimes the impurities are strengths. Sometimes an impurity leads to a greater understanding of the material and the ability to transmute it into something stronger later. Like metallurgy. So after about a half hour of him just literally blowing smoke at you, but you having this weird sense of, oh, a thing is happening, kind of stops, like, alright, so... I don't have a lot of knowledge of the other spheres. But I suspect, like, it definitely has a mind of its own. Like, I would have assumed this is some kind of wacky-ass spirit. But it's not a spirit. And it's not a ghost, like, that I could tell right away. So, I mean, it could be some other kind of... I mean, I'm also not getting an abyssal read off it, which is, you know, good, because then this would be you actually having your brain degrade over some hitchhiker from a spaceship. That doesn't, like, those don't usually pretend to be AIs. I guess anything's possible. I'll just sort of spitball in here. Let me think about. Hold on one second. And he actually picks up like his phone and starts kind of listing through it, looking for something. Okay, so there's these new mages in town. They're not really, I mean, mages are kind of hard to organize at the best of times. They're new in town. They're opening a restaurant, I think, actually close to your office. They're not open yet, but you know, just tell them I sent you. They're pretty chill. I technically know them through their husband, who isn't a mage, but that's really complicated. Okay. Yeah, it's called Three Witches. It's like, yeah, it's just, it's gonna be like a tea shop or something. They wanted to, they wanted to surprise me, and I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, they're actually from the Sandon system, so they evacuated with all those changelings that came through. But they're pretty on the level.
I'll pay them a visit then.
Yeah, just tell them I say hi, and like, you know, you're not possessed by a ghost, so I don't know how to help you.
That's fair.
And I can see enough prime that I can see it's something supernatural, but I just cannot, like, what?
Best lead I've gotten so far, though.
Yeah. So congrats.
Thanks.
It's magic. I just have no fucking clue what kind. Except that it's not a ghost. And maybe it's not a spirit, unless it's some really weird, like, highly complicated spirit.
Guess we'll have to find out.
But yeah. So he gives you the address, and you've noticed, I think I made note of this before y'all went after the weird priest, that yeah, there was an empty restaurant-y storefront in your neighborhood that got picked up, that has been being fixed up into something called Three Witches, and it hasn't opened yet. There's just been basically a one of those things on the front door saying, we're looking for people to work at our restaurant, and you know, rip off the tab with our email on it, and email us your resume, kind of thing. But so while that's all happening, okay, Sungrazer, is there anything you in particular are working on in advance of stuff?
I mean, aside from gathering goblin fruit and gussying up my shuttle, stocking up on coffee, because I think Klaus and I will both be relying on that to some degree.
The sheer amount of coffee that's going to be on our spaceship.
It's amazing. Like all of Jamaica will just be floating through the space. All the Blue Mountain coffee.
Woohoo.
I already spoke with the lolcat smuggler person. I guess if there's anywhere else where I can get more maps and charts and things, I want to be stocking up more on those, particularly ones that are up to date and not necessarily ones that are off the beaten path, so to speak.
Like I said, there is an asteroid belt in Limos. So if you have the NADs to navigate it,
Absolutely.
the NADs and the decks to navigate it,
Probably.
that can be handy for hiding places.
Is there anyone else I would know who has navigated said belt?
Like again, most of the smugglers you knew who ran through that system, like you ain't heard from them.
Yeah.
So either they're stuck in there somewhere, or they're working for that syndicate, or were competing with that syndicate and are competing no more.
Yeah.
Or other stuff, because Limos is just a mess. Well, a mess if you scratch the surface. On the surface, it's like, oh no, everything's great. We have law enforcement and military, and everyone gets along. It's also illegal to do magic here. Actually. Adds
I mean,
coffee
you led with law enforcement and military, and that's already 2 strikes. So.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Well, even if someone who maybe hasn't recently, like anyone who got out before that sort of clampdown happened, but would have information about the system, that's what I would be keeping my ear to the ground for. Hanging out in pilot bars and stuff.
From that, what you can also get is that while it can be a handy place to hide if you are an under-the-table dealer of sorts, if you're doing under-the-table non-contract work, it can also be a place for other things to hide. So you might want to be careful, because none of those asteroids are big enough to have enough of a bulkhead to ward off the abyss, which can lead to badness. And Sungazer, you've been having dreams. People have dreams. Sometimes these dreams are flashbacks to your time in Arcadia, which you don't think about consciously, but unfortunately your brain, sometimes your subconscious, does not always comply with your wishes.
Which is most impolite.
Very
of
impolite.
The subconscious.
And you remember being pure energy. Just the outer binds of your sense of consciousness just fraying along the outsides as you power something bigger than you, alongside a whole bunch of other, as far as you can tell, people turned into living batteries and power conduits and cables. And none of you are entirely sure what you're powering. But in one of those dreams, you do get a weird sense of being airborne.
Airborne specifically in an atmosphere?
It would have to be in an atmosphere, to be honest, because physics.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely atmospheric flight.
How unusual.
And, with gravity as a factor. So not in space. So atmosphere and gravity equals on a planet? Maybe?
This might require a dive into like historical archives or something, but are there records of the Thurasas either in the war or at any other point actually like invading a planet?
Yes, one of the core planets. I would have to double check the records of which one, or you can read it yourself because it's in there somewhere. So I won't even make you roll for
I'll
it.
look it up. I just
But the gist
that's
is
interesting.
one of the core planets, I think, was fully taken over by the Thurazaz through the hedge. So what they did to combat it was literally nuke the hedge. And as far as anyone can tell, there is no longer a hedge dimension on that planet because it was nuked. So nuclear weapons are still, used in 6,000, in this space age of the future. And they are one thing known to be effective against Thurazaz. Nukes.
I mean, to be fair, I'm about as unfond of the Thurisaz as that, and probably totally fine with nuking them. So.
They basically some describe it as the Battle of Glass, as they effectively turned the hedge to glass with nuclear bombs.
That'll do it.
But actually, give me I will make you roll a thing.
Ooh.
Roll.
A thing.
A thing. Is this your
hope
character
not.
sheet? Yes! Yes! I actually brought out the correct character sheet. Hooray! Roll. What would this be? Since you is this so you're going through like archival because the Broggy library like has all of this like freely available. It is all about computer databases and archival records and all that. Like nothing predates. One thing that happened during the Thurazaz War is it was the Great Data Purge. So basically, the humanity has no data about its history before 1700 of this era. And this era, we're in like 41 something. So in the 1700s, the Thurazaz attacked, and the humans and maybe other people you don't know because no one was out back then. Basically purged all of their data that they possibly could to stop the Thurazaz from getting it and weaponizing it.
Probably a sensible precaution, but inconvenient to say the least.
Yeah, so it's actually a big deal, a big archaeological deal whenever someone finds a hard drive that predates the purge of any sort. And those are highly sought after artifacts. Moral of the story: always keep books. Yep. Digitizing has its effectiveness, but also their problems. Oops. So yes, so you are going through. So there are, I mean, the Broggy library has just entire databases of even first-hand accounts of people who were in the Thurazaz War. I mean, not written until later, but a lot of them changelings, a lot of them werewolves, a lot of them mages, and just, setting their words to paper or digital copy, and then eventually they made their way to this library. So, actually, yeah, so this would be a research draw, so you should roll...
investigation?
Intelligence...
Yeah.
Oh, this would technically be... This would technically be academics, but I will allow a computers roll.
Yeah,
Intelligence
academic
computers.
is the opposite of what is good. All right. 8. So 1 success.
Okay. You do find an account of... You do find like a snippet of a story of someone says when the Thurazaz conquered my town, basically. And they talk about so they talk, and this is someone who wasn't a pilot, they were a ship builder. They were a ship mechanic. They were an engineer. So not only were they shocked to see ships come out of nowhere, because where the fuck did that hedge gate come from? They were not a changeling. They did not understand what was happening. But like really low tech airships. Like it was held aloft not by combustion engines, but by a balloon filled with some kind of gas, and looked like an old-fashioned like wooden ocean ship that they had heard tales of from ancient Earth, that was like actually made of wood. And mechanical constructs that they could see on the ship, like both on the outside or on the deck, were like great big brass gears.
But no plasma conduits.
No plasma conduits.
All right.
At least
Well,
not that they could see.
Slightly reassuring.
But it does sound like the Thurazaz were attacking using airships, like steampunk airships. Which was kind of had that effect of a red Gyarados, and that that wave of Thurazaz more or less got the drop on people because they didn't think they would be dangerous, because they didn't know Supernats were real and had magic powers. But it sounds like what happened from there was that their changeling minions, and possibly Hobbs as well, did a whole bunch of damage while people were going, what the fuck is that? So they went, a red Gyarados, and lost the initiative.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
All right, well, good to know. Good to have that piece of information.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much all that I wanted to specifically find out. Probably hang out in bars until everyone's ready to leave, and hope for some interesting information to cross the old ears.
Okay. Holiday. Is there anything else you are pursuing?
Making sure I have a uniform to go with my cover identity.
I would say you've got like 8 bajillion successes with your
Yeah.
with your military buddy. So he's like, here, take my jumpsuit. It's fine.
Well, no, like a full actual uniform, dress uniform. I got a list of stuff for it, but it's one of those things. Let's see.
Okay, I wrote down you rolled a 27 on your military check, so 7 successes. Yeah, you can get the dress form, or the dress uniform. So like a formal dress uniform.
Yeah.
It's a little worn, but it does fit you, and it is the current fashion or style, so it's not like an out-of-date one.
Okay.
It is a bit threadbare in places. It looks like it's definitely been not altered, but fixed, mended.
Yeah.
So, but shit happens even when you're in dress uniform, so
Yeah. Then I'll see about getting that thing implanted.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right, and the I forget your Nebula Court? No.
Nova Court.
Nova Court.
Yeah.
So the Nova Queen, basically, she's like, all right, I found a thing. Like, people are very not very careless with their treasures, and they can cost a lot to buy at the Goblin Market. But I did find something. They won't tell me if it does anything, but it's just like this. And she holds up what looks like what are they called? Challenge coins.
Super.
So it's all silver. There is no detailing of other colors of metal or resin, or not resin. Anyway, there's no. It's just basically, it's not flat silver though. It looks like there's a rim to it, and then on each side there is a kind of relief of like a military drum with 2 sticks. So it's almost like a little fanciful bit of clip art. And you do not recognize This does not look like any challenge coin you have ever seen or heard of.
Okay.
But it, looks innocuous enough, and it definitely reads as weird and, looks like a good luck charm that isn't super conspicuous or dangerous looking.
Okay, good. Well, that'll be fun then.
And you're pretty sure, like, just looking at it, like, even if it does do something, it's probably not a big something.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will explain to her the other half of the plan and watch her face turn white.
What is the other half of the plan again?
We're gonna cut right across here, put that right up against right into my neck, and then seal the wound back up.
Oh, you wanna put the coin in there?
Yeah.
She's like, okay. I guess we could get Dr. Collins in on that.
That would be great. You should probably go get Doc Collins.
So she calls on the cell phone. She's like, yeah, Holiday wants you to make it look like he's got a shrapnel wound. Can you do that? Can you do that though? Can you do that though?
I mean, I've got a knife. I could put a hole in my neck.
I just don't. Collins, can you do? Okay, he'll be right up.
I mean, I can get started. That's not a problem.
So barreling through the door is someone you may or may not have met yet, which is he is Novacourt. He is wizened, and he's like, all right, what's the thing? What is? And he's got like a bottle in one hand. He's like, all right, I am ready for surgery. Oh, let's do this. Yeah.
And you're sure that me doing it is not safer?
He's like, he's a wizened. Yeah,
The knife.
It'll be fine. Look, you know what? You wanted this to be a shrapnel wound. I didn't realize. I just figured it would be in your pocket. Okay. That's fine. I saw you and
Don't botch the medicine roll. Don't botch the medicine roll.
so he it's this is the Novacourt office where there is the wall of timers for various people keeping watch for huntsmen.
Oh, that
And
reminds me.
there are a few desks of people where people do paperwork, including you. And
Yeah.
then there is something that looks kind of like a derelict dentist chair with a series of medical tools and, an autoclave, because sometimes y'all need to fix your own, and often it is Doc Collins doing that. It's like, no, it's fine, I can do this, it's fine. And so the first time he starts cutting into the chair behind your head.
Steadying hand, putting blade up against throat.
He drinks more whiskey straight out of the bottle.
I
So, no,
take-
settles my hands. It's fine. It's fine.
I take some of the whiskey and I just draw a dotted line. See if the scalpel can find its way along the path.
Oh, so sterilization. Good idea.
While he's doing that, I'm seeing if that silver watch I have, if it has a timer feature.
Okay, take a lethal because he botched his roll.
Oh.
Someone
You were
said, "Don't-"
specifically not
Alas.
supposed to do
Yeah.
that. You had one job.
And
Literally, that
Novacourt
is his job.
Just like, dude, are you sure you want to do this?
Can I see that scalpel, please?
And he's like, all right.
I mean, at least it'll look like an actual shrapnel wound.
Right.
So.
Would you like to do the medicine check yourself this time?
Check to see if I have medicine real quick. I don't think I do. Not that I think that's going to be worse than what I'm going through now.
Holiday has no medicine.
That's fine. I have the things that look like medicine. Okay.
Politics is pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, that would be great.
Buzzing.
I know what I'll do. I'll call my hey, Klaus, come here.
Dr. Klaus, medicine Moros.
So Klaus, you're on your way to this Three Witches cafe or whatever it is, and you get a call from Holiday.
What do you need?
A licensed medical professional who's not drunk.
I'm not licensed anymore, but I am also not drunk at the moment.
Although you haven't had decent sleep for a week, so.
And this does
Let's
count as a
talk.
mental check.
Are you sure you want me doing medicine right now?
You're
You
fine.
Physically cannot be more dangerous than the person currently working on me.
Wow, that's saying something. Okay, where are you at?
I'm at Clancy's.
Got it.
And you have been to Clancy's, so
I
yes.
have. Tired Moro stumbles in.
You know what? Is Sungrazer also Nova Court?
No, nominal eclipse.
Oh, nominal eclipse. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I don't have a problem. It
You
was
could
a
also
tough
hang
choice
out here.
between the two. I mean, there's some things I like the Nova more, some things I like the Eclipse more.
mhm.
Do you like warm environments?
Yes.
Then you're probably hanging out at the Nova Court bar.
Yeah, you said you were hanging out at Spacers bars, and as you see Klaus come in, and so Holiday, describe to us what Clancy's is like. So this is the stomping ground and the de facto offices upstairs of the Nova Court. But what is the ground level bar like?
Clancy's, let me find my description of Clancy's. I wrote this out a while back.
Yay.
Uh,
We missed out on doing this before.
Clancy's, let's see. Clancy's is the building itself is a well lived in. There's faded paint and a few bricks and scratches from over the years. There's a very obvious sign on the door that states the temperature inside the establishment is kept at a chilled 95 degrees, and you have been warned about potential heat stroke. This is your only warning.
Hail hydrate.
Yeah. There are rows of motorcycles parked out front. Inside, the main bar offers full-service food and drink options. Nothing is ever served cold. The wooden floor and furnishings are utilitarian, but have seen their share of fights, fires, outbursts of changeling anger, and spilled drinks and food. There's a stage set in the back of the bar, and live music goes on every night at 11. And very, very few people in here wear a lot of clothing because of the heat.
One of those bars.
Yeah.
Klaus leaves their jacket at the door.
Yeah.
I will add that Holiday, you would know this, the other two might not, that there is a door marked private business only. You know that is a door to the basement where there is periodically a fight club, but no one outside of the Nova Court is allowed to talk about it. But it still happens. For those who partake. So, because sometimes there is just too much Nova Court to channel, and they're just like, take it downstairs.
Yeah.
Has Holiday ever attended a fight club?
He has observed. He has never been a participant.
Oh, but your first time at fight club, you must fight.
Yeah, they made an exception the day he put a hole through a wall.
They're like, all right, he fought the wall.
And the
wall won. Oh, okay.
It happens. So then you've seen at least once that there is another door going lower than the basement. That some weird, like, teenage kids came out of that time and then wolfed out and also started fighting. You're like, oh, there are werewolves in the sewers.
I'm more fascinated that there are werewolves because I've never seen one.
There are werewolves in the sewers. I've never heard that rumor.
There's the Bat Pack and the Turtle Pack. Because it's
tracks.
Alright, so Klaus, Klaus, you make it in, and Sungrazer, you see Klaus come in. There's probably someone at the bar waiting to show Klaus up to the, there's another door behind the bar marked office.
Just kind of wave and be like, where are you headed?
Apparently Holiday wants me to do medical things.
How interesting.
This is technically what they keep me on for at Carve.
Are you taking spectators?
Do you want to come?
I mean, well, what sort of medical thing are you doing? Is it like,
I
is
don't
it like
fucking know.
STD testing, or because I don't want to be,
No, I believe it's surgery of some sort.
even better. I could watch it. I've never seen a surgery before. I'd be into it. New experiences,
I mean, I'm not stopping you.
Let me just. All right. I'm pumped.
Yeah, they let Klaus up, and they kind of give Sungrazer a side eye, but then they just shrug and like, yeah, go out. That's fine. We're the NWoD court. There's nothing here we can't beat the shit out of,
I will ghost through the wall if I have to.
So yeah, y'all just walk up. There's a narrow staircase. It is as worn and lived in as the rest of the establishment. And yeah, the second floor of the walk up is an office with kind of boring looking desks, and Holiday sitting in the chair, sort of pawing off a drunk guy with a bottle of whiskey in one hand and a scalpel in the other. He's like, no,
I got the scalpel away from it.
Oh yeah, so he's trying to get his scalpel back, but he's, drunk enough for surgery, is drunk enough to be sort of kept at bay by another Nova Court member. And there's this woman there. She's kind of tough looking woman, dressed kind of in army fatigues with a camo shirt wrapped around her waist, just sort of going like, and just shaking her head.
Just another day.
There was a wall of stopwatches, some digital, some dial, some wind up, just all over this one wall of the room, and they each have names on them, and you don't know what that's about.
Would I recognize any of the names?
There is at least one that says Holiday on it.
I think it's probably easy enough to put 2 and 2 together. I guess I can try to assist, like, getting the drunk wizened doctor away.
I'll allow that to just happen, so it doesn't cause any additional negative penalties. Because, let me see.
I'll invite him to share a drink. That'll be...
Oh, cheers, mate! Alright, so this counts as a mental roll, Klaus, so...
Oh boy!
There's a -1. Actually, a surgery would probably be Dex medical.
Huh.
And I did not I said it was mental and social rolls, not physical.
Yeah.
You are down a health level, but I don't think 1 health level gives you any physical penalties.
Okay. So, Dex medicine?
Yeah.
You're also not doing anything. Like, I mean, it might require some kind of mental roll if you were, like, trying to find a nerve, but you're just cutting someone's throat, so...
Just cutting someone's throat.
That's pretty straightforward.
It's a good thing I did not botch this, not gonna lie.
Wow, that blood is just spraying out.
I'm just thinking about that scene in What We Do in the Shadows.
Put the towel down?
Yeah.
Vampires don't put down towels?
Good thing Petruvio's not here.
Yeah, you do get Min saying, no, just go for the jugular. Just, you want to. You want to see what happens. Do changelings even bleed when they're made of rocks? Like, come on! Come on!
'Tis a 16.
Okay, I will say you are able to cut around the arteries and find a place to basically slip this metal coin into your friend's throat and then stitch it up. 16 is 3 successes. I'll say that's enough.
Okay.
Oh, Vampiric Yoda, thank you for the GM +1.
Thank you, Dracus, for immediately countering that.
I've been given power. I'm allowed to fight Yoda now.
Fight with channel points. We do some precious little else with them. All right, so
I will tell you now, this is not a fight you can win.
So our alarm went off for break. And wow, my neck hurts, so I think I need to reheat my water bottle and put that back. So
That would be
do we
good,
want to
yes.
pause here for our 10-minute break?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so chat, if you have any questions about what the fuck is going on, just ask in chat. When I get back from my water bottle maintenance, I will answer them. So, alright, chat, we will see you in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere, even though I still haven't figured out how to put a timer on our screen. One day I will learn how to actually stream. Today is still not that day. Alright, see you later. Hello, chat. I have a hot water bottle against the back of my neck, so it's a good thing our players have met up in-game because I don't know what my brain is about to do. Woohoo! Because, yeah, the pain is right up here, which means any attempt to try and deal with it mechanically means I am messing with blood flow to my brain. Yay. Anyway, how are you doing, chat? Our players are having a chill game of self-exploration and talking to elders and people in their communities before they head off to a really, really fucked up system called Limos.
Oh, and don't forget the surgery.
Oh,
We're
and the
doing
surgery,
surgery.
So
It might not be a great idea.
Yes. So Holiday has decided that a great way to spoof the Supernat detectors in Limos system would be to actually embed hedge-related shrapnel into his own body, and just say like, well, I can't take this thing out of my throat, so I'm just gonna keep setting off that detector. But I'm definitely not a changeling. This led to him going to the Nova Court for assistance, and their drunken surgeon was not up to the task, so luckily, Holiday knows someone who used to have a medical license, called Klaus.
As far as I know, you still have a medical license.
Klaus can neither confirm nor deny the current status of their license.
You see, technically the license is invalid because I am no longer using the name that the license went with, which is fine by me because the name was technically just a serial number, and we don't talk about that.
Wait, did you re-upload your database before you cut into the side of my neck?
Yes.
Just make sure.
Absolutely.
I would say that's a rote action by this point. You've seen enough specialists who failed to get the talking evil out of your head. Is an unlicensed doctor still a doctor? Depends on who you ask and if there's a lawsuit involved. In space.
Why the neck, Holiday? Why not the hip or like the shoulder or something?
Because with MediMask, I can change my face, but I can't change my voice. This gives me a reason to wear a voice modulator.
Still though, why not the shoulder or the hip or something? I mean, I trust your judgment.
Are you afraid of blood? I'm not.
No, I'm afraid that you're gonna get your throat cut.
I already
But
got my throat cut.
well, it's true. How you doing, Klaus?
Oh, dredging up old memories of doing actual medical things. I haven't been needed for medical work in a while.
So are those good memories or bad memories?
Neutral at best.
Well, that's better than the alternatives.
I don't know. Some of the memories definitely involved corpses, but you're not going to be a corpse.
Well, not right now, no.
It's nice to see such self-assurance. I'm gonna try to maneuver the
It's part
drunk
of the job.
doctor like off to the side.
He's singing at this point.
Oh, brilliant.
Singing songs of Wolfie Rebellion. And just sort of stumbling back down the stairs.
So, have you got an apprentice for him lined up yet, or?
Oh,
Okay.
for Collins?
Yeah.
We don't get a lot of scientists in the Nova Court. Not none at all, but you know, we have
to know some medics.
I mean, it was kind of short notice, but yeah.
I'm gonna make sure he doesn't fall down the stairs and then very
He'll be
firmly shut the
fine.
door behind him.
I mean, your friend seems cool, and they're also Karve, right?
Yes.
Or like, well, and she motions a Holiday. You keep saying you're not exactly Karve, but you know, word travels fast.
Karve adjacent.
Karve adjacent. It's cool.
Josh wants to know if he can hop in.
I think this is gonna be a pretty low-key game. And also I would have to, I guess, I mean, I'd have to resize the window, though.
Klaus, would you like a job being an on-call doctor for the Nova Court?
Is that necessarily a good idea? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
It gets wild around here.
Okay.
Work is work, right?
I'm not bad at what I do. I mean, there is a reason that I work for Karve.
Because you can cut into people's throats.
Without killing them, yes.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
A step above the doctor I just dealt with.
Gonna lock the door just in case he tries to come back up. Singing all the while.
He's basically got his own table downstairs.
Good.
But they have basically the scalpel wasn't his, it belonged to the medical equipment they had up here, and they just, so that is away from him, and he's just got his own bottle. And he is singing Wolfie songs of rebellion. No one knows when the werewolves had a rebellion on this planet, but okay. And everyone's just sort of leaving him alone.
Probably
he's not unfriendly.
Shit.
Yeah.
No, he seems very friendly and eminently unqualified to be doing surgery at the moment. So
at the moment, yes. But you know, in a pinch, like Sungrazer, your Eclipse Court, this is a Nova Court bar. You can see why they might want to have a medic on hand in case of emergencies. Also, Fight Club. Oh, there we go. Okay, just give me a sec to. Oh, I don't have to even do that much resizing.
Hey.
Oh, Josh,
that's
don't forget
good.
to
Let
change
me
your
switch over to
name.
my computer's thing. Yeah, I will change my name as well, and also switch to the integrated.
Well, sudden shift of perspective.
La, 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 la. Ooh. Oh, I should move where I am so I feel like the GM again. There we go. Waha!
I'm doing questionable surgery on Holiday.
Yay!
Oh, that's got to be fun.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
for somebody.
Mostly Sungrazer, I think.
It is fascinating to watch.
You said
I've
that
never,
like I don't trust you with surgical tools.
Say what? Say it again?
You said that like I don't trust you with surgical tools.
I don't think I've ever seen the inside of a neck before.
I have.
Oh, I'm sure you have. Also,
You're
why
not
are you
hanging out
talking
in the
right
right
now?
places.
Holiday, I don't have any medical knowledge, but I'm fairly certain the one thing you should not be doing right now is talking.
Slide the modulator on and hook it up.
Is Holiday, in fact, unconscious,
Wow.
or is Holiday totally conscious while being
Oh, he
being
was
operated
wide
on?
awake for the surgical process.
Not even a local?
No.
I mean, there's the whiskey. But...
Yeah, there's whiskey. That was the anesthetic we used for the day.
I was going to text Petruchio and be like, What is Carve's freelancer health insurance policy?
Technically, well, healthcare in Eden system is
Yeah,
free.
yeah, true.
So
Fair.
basically, the healthcare plan is if you are contracted to Eden, they can basically vouch as yes, this person lives here, give them free healthcare.
Yep.
Which is handy when people are doing backroom surgery on you after that.
Tinkering with the modulator for a minute or two to get the voice almost right.
Wow, this is fucked up.
Well, no, it's not. It's not that. It's actually got the voice box built into it, so I don't actually have to do the microphone.
Yeah.
It's the future. Technology exists.
Woohoo! So yeah, the GM's brain is mush, so we are now doing, pre-Limos preparation round 2. So Patricio is basically back at the office, we just building people's fake identities, and Klaus still has to figure out their name. But
I'm working on
they're
it.
working on it. It's fine.
Let Klaus do one complicated thing at a time.
No, says Min Butt Space, do all the complicated things at the same time.
Well, if you don't come up
What
with
do
a
you
name
think I'm
fairly
doing?
Maximum
fast enough,
chaos!
some people start making really bad suggestions, like Stratford Avon, or Avon Stratford.
That's fine. Yeah.
If you think talking like this is bad, you should see what drinking's like.
Oh no, no, oh no. Whiskey dribbles out behind the voice.
But makes it sterile now.
Listen, I rolled well. I didn't do poorly. Come on, give me some
Sure.
credit.
I'm giving you all the credit in the world.
Does
If I did-
unlicensed alteration void Holiday's medical warranty? He's not that kind of Marine.
Oh, my medical warranty was voided a long time ago.
That whole being altered by, an interdimensional alien enemy force is, a thing.
That's a thing. That's a thing that happens.
And don't worry, because, actual Klaus is technically also a necromancer, so if they fail some rolls, they can succeed at others.
I'm just saying, if the neck is right there, everything goes from there.
But yes, so Holiday had installed in his neck what looks like a challenge coin, but not for any military thing anyone in this room has ever heard of. But it's just sort of that thick kind of silver coin with a rim on it, and just almost like a clip art picture of like a little snare drum with two sticks. And it's not clear if it does anything, but
Well, it's not gonna do anything right now. Hopefully.
anywho. So Klaus, you were before you were called in for your medical expertise, you were already on kind of a thing of a quest of your own.
I was.
Which reminds me, sorry for being an asshole and not dragging you into this. Do you need help with anything?
I was about to go talk to some people at that new restaurant opening up by our office.
Which is one?
Mm-hmm.
Don't they
The
make
three witches. I don't know. Heard they might be able to help.
No, with your unwanted companion?
Yeah.
Do you want company for this little excursion?
I won't say no.
Okay, give me a second to put my to change clothes, and I'll be happy to ride with.
Do you want multiple company for this excursion?
If you want. It's
I
turning
don't really
into a
wanna,
party.
I don't really want to stay in this room.
Yeah,
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, no offense, Holiday. It's not really.
Yeah,
not
the
really a
Nova
nice
Queen
game.
is kind of like, Eclipse Court. Like she doesn't
Nominal
want to.
only.
You get that sense that she doesn't want to say something, but she wants to say something, but she doesn't, and it's like clearly she got the job of Nova Queen because she knows when not to speak.
In Sungrazer's mind, she's just sad because he didn't choose Nova Queen.
That's fair.
So yeah, I will use the side door and head over to my apartment, which is in the building adjacent to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Right back.
Mundane side door or magical side door?
Mundane one.
Oh, okay. I have to ask. This is Eden City.
Yeah.
And
So
hedge gates are.
This building is a nest of hollows.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Pretty much. And sometimes, much like walking through an Escher painting or lithograph. Pardon. But yeah. So.
When the doctor went down the stairs, he actually went like that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, no, the bar and the office are pretty. The bar, the office, and the basement are pretty straightforward. Otherwise, how would the werewolves attend Fight Club?
They use their sneaky sewer magic.
Changeling sneaky sewer magic and werewolf sneaky sewer magic do not always mesh well, but okay.
You say that.
Anywho, so yeah, so Patricio, you're in the office.
Yep.
Is there anything else you wanted to research or look into before go time to Limos, which will not be tonight because I don't have a brain. But you have confirmed that only a quarter of your usual contacts in the system are operational. Another quarter you can find, but they're not really working because they're on the wrong planet. And half of them are just gone.
Yeah. Is it usual that when you have something like this, that you end up with some kind of like Gestapo or otherwise either secret police or just mob violence?
Let me bring up your character sheet.
I have politics. I don't know if that's politics. It might be.
Yeah, I would say this would count as a politics role.
Pull up my character sheet.
I
not
might also
Carve's character sheet.
say larceny, but you don't have that.
No, I should really work on larceny, but that's another matter.
That's helpful.
We're not a gang of thieves, but we sort of are.
I don't know about everyone else, but I am a thief sometimes.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Maybe you should teach some of the rest of us, or at least me.
I could.
I mean, you want larceny, I'll do you some larceny.
I figure you two open doors and things. Oh, I have proof of you two being able to open a door.
Well, I didn't do so well with that.
It's not
Next
just
time
for
we get
D&D.
faced by a door, I'm gonna try it again a little differently next time.
So chat confirmed, it is not just a problem in D&D. Any adventuring party can be stymied by a door. The doors are the greatest and most ubiquitous enemies in RPG, tabletop RPGs. Anywho, what were we talking about? So yeah. Alright, so Patricio, yeah, roll intelligence and politics.
Start. Oh, that didn't do so well. That was a 1. So it would have been a success, except
You know, it doesn't really sound feasible. Like why would the government be blackbagging people? Like, come on.
It's never happened before in history.
You're sure that's just all, you've heard it's overblown. Why would Task Force Valkyrie be bothering with the Expanse systems? They've already been conquered.
I mean, I know people are vanishing. I just don't know how.
Magic shit happens. Y'all just had to track down a weird priest who, if not for a couple of the circumstances, a weird priest disappearing into the hedge is normal now. And it's like, goodness knows, in a place where you can actually get to the Hysil/Shadow/Umbra, like, disappearances are twice as likely among Supernats.
That a
Yeah.
government report?
So, yeah.
Oh. No, that's going nowhere.
Well, you're still in, I'd say you're still in the middle of all of those extended task roles to build fake identities for anyone and everyone, and that's going really well.
Yeah, that is in fact going really well. But I can do that anywhere because I have a computer in my head.
Yeah. And that never leads to problems.
Right, class?
Never. Not at all.
Class, I have an idea of madness. What if we talk Min into hopping into another plugin on somebody else that can bother?
I'm not volunteering.
I can't.
I
I don't
mean,
have a plugin. I don't have any headwear.
We kind of thought about something like that at the beginning and it didn't work. But we weren't
Also-
asking at that point, and it
Right.
was all tech based at that point.
Also, yeah, we have not figured out what kind of entity your visitor is.
What if it can replicate itself?
Oh, that's a thing.
That would not be.
Maybe they can get into an argument. That would distract them for a while.
I would rather not be the battlegrounds for arguing AIs.
No?
No.
Ah, right. I know how to solve your problem. We put 2 more AIs in your head,
Oh no, we
Weird.
were talking about that already.
and then we put 2 more AIs in your head, and we keep going until you have like 8 or 9, and you're going completely nuts. So we take all but 1 AI back out.
If we gave the AI an AI to bother it, maybe that would, then it would understand.
Gonna go talk to these other mages, okay? You're all giving terrible suggestions.
What other mages? I have a question. What other mages?
The other mages. The ones Jasper suggested I go talk to, which I was on my way to do when you called.
At the restaurant.
I have a
Yes.
I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
Who's Jasper?
Amoros that I know.
I have a third follow-up question.
Yeah?
What's Amoros?
That's a complicated question.
You can explain while we're on the way.
Okay.
This is great. This is like Mage Studies 101.
I'm not qualified to be giving Mage Studies 101.
More qualified than the rest of us.
Sure, maybe.
So I take it outside of the bar, Petruchio has fallen in with the rest of you, and you're not sure where they
Yeah.
came from, but they're just there.
Oh, hey.
You track their
Sure,
cell phones,
why
it's
not?
fine.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Petruchio.
Yeah.
Hard as in
You
track
walk
their
out
cell
to
phones.
you walk up and Klaus is like, I'm not qualified to give you Mage 101.
Hey,
And that's
I needed to
where you
walk.
walk in.
It occurred to me I could,
Why would you
I could work on my
qualify?
current project anyway, really.
Yeah.
Why would you be qualified for Mage 101?
Listen.
I am listening. It's a
I
skill
know
I'm
some
very good at.
I know about mages. I don't know enough to be like teaching this bullshit. Okay?
Why do you know about mages?
Do you want to think about that a little bit?
I would much rather not make assumptions.
Fair enough. Suffice to say, I am a Moros myself, not a very good one. Anyway, talking to people who know what they're doing,
You're
let's
still-
go.
Still don't know what Moros is.
Some kind of mage, evidently.
Street gang? Is it a syndicate? I don't know what this is.
It's
Is it like the Rotary Club?
a field of study, for lack of any better description.
Like postmodernist?
Very post.
Sure.
I can get behind that. I mean, you know, I support your choices.
I have no problems with your choices. I am still confused.
That's fair enough. I'm not necessarily capable of clearing up the confusion.
To be fair, Holiday, we did drag them into the hedge that one time. So
Right, that's why I have no problems riding shotgun on this.
Yeah.
I got no
Yeah.
problem. I understand
one time.
confusion by not knowing what's going on. I would like to improve the situation. So that
Just
less
like walked
confusion.
into the hedge several times. I still don't know what the fuck's going on in there.
Okay, we don't either. No,
You just
the
roll
hedge
with
here is
it.
very strange.
No, the real
I-
struggle is that I would like to know, but I don't want to know, and I don't want to find out, but I do. If that made any sense at all.
Wait,
Yeah.
what is the thing you want to know?
Everything.
I mean,
it's a slightly tall order.
You
Exactly.
got your work cut out for you.
Yep.
well,
And well, this stupid hitchhiker up here wants me to go about doing that in stupid ways, so
like what?
reckless decisions mostly.
Yeah, that's fine.
We live on reckless decisions.
Not these.
I just let you cut into my neck without anesthesia.
Yes. That's not magic. It's not mage bullshit.
Why? I mean, I'd do it, but I'm dead.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, let's see your mage
Anyway.
friends.
Are we walking or are we taking a transport of some kind? How far away is the
Let's see. You said Nova Court's in Steel
It's-
Town.
Yeah,
So-
it's a distance. We have to, the
You're-
transport's probably easier.
Yeah, you're basically just heading back to the Old Town District, a couple blocks from your office. So, yeah, mass transit is very transity because this is a perfect future city where urban planning was taken seriously and done correctly.
So,
There are also cabs.
either way.
Is there a moving walkway?
No.
Aw.
There are some of those in some of the subway stations, though.
Okay. I remember when those were fiction.
Subway
is there
stations?
a series of pneumatic tubes?
It depends on the building.
I mean for people.
Depends on the building.
All right. Excellent.
This is brilliant. World building.
Okay. World building with my hot water bottle suppressing my brain. Okay, yeah, so yeah, you know where this is. This probably used to be a restaurant. Those of you who eat food had been to before, and it, you know, just the restaurant industry isn't as insane here as it is in New York City. But still, you know, sometimes restaurants go out of business, sometimes owners retire, sometimes people make business decisions that don't go well, and this storefront, and usually storefronts, especially in Old Town, don't stay open for more than a couple months, because this is a very sought-after piece of real estate. But yeah, you start walking down the block towards they have the new sign out that says 3 Witches.
Do they serve caffeinated beverages?
You don't know yet. It looks like the windows are still kind of papered up on the other side. But you know, as you're approaching, you do see that there's on the the front door, there is still that flyer that's like, you know, do you want to work at a restaurant? Here are little rippy paper tabs with
Yeah.
our email on it. And as you are watching that, and it's the one you see on the door is mostly they're torn off. So actually, as you're approaching, the door opens and someone sort of walks outside with another one and some tape to put up a new one. And it is a lady. I wrote down descriptions. I did not describe them very well. Well, this is why we have a VOD. I'll just check up on it afterwards and write it down then. So you see a woman who, darker complexion, skin tone. She has her hair done up in lots of tiny braids that are then themselves coiffed up all together in this lovely updo. And she is wearing full-on Victorian mourning dress. So like
Brilliant.
the corseted waist with the button up over it, the bustle and the tiered skirt, and kind of just like a kerchief folded around her hair. And it looks dusty. It looks like she has been cleaning and working on stuff in this outfit. And she is full on Victorian goth. And just, you know, just
Excellent.
replacing the little like very much like, you know, the fairy tale archetype of the witch is still a thing, and it's like, okay, I see there's a theme here. And she's just, you know, taping up the new flyer, and she has a broom, but it's like, you know, like a modern broom that actually works, not like one of those old-fashioned wooden brooms that doesn't work so well. It's like, you know, an actual like plastic and nylon, and she just sort of sets it next to the door while she's taping up the new flyers. And also sort of taping up a thing that is like a paper pocket that is full of menus, you think? So
As we're walking up, I'm gonna see if I can catch her eye and kind of wave to let her know that we're, you know, walking up to her. If that doesn't work, I will walk up and be like, "Excuse me," but
she kind of like, even before you start waving, she kind of like wait, which one is she? She kind of like looks up for a sec, like she hears a weird noise. And as you're waving, she looks. I can't turn my neck though, because it'll hurt me.
do not then.
Okay, but this is, I can't roleplay and warm my nerves. Okay, she kind of like, and she looks behind her, is like, oh, g'day.
Hi.
Can I help you? Are you in the neighborhood? We're not open for business yet.
Yeah, actually, we all work just down the street here, but I was actually coming to ask if you would be able to help me with something. Jasper sent me.
Oh, all right. You also Morris?
Yeah.
All right.
You?
Nah. Nah, I'm Acanthus.
What's that?
Later.
I think it's a kind of houseplant.
Sorry, my friends are idiots.
Okay,
I haven't exactly explained anything to them.
So, thus far, I prefer the idiots here than the ones in Sandon. Because the ones in Sandon firebombed our last place. So that wasn't fun.
Fair enough.
Are your idiot friends gonna firebomb us?
No.
Then
Doubtful.
That would
that's
be
fine.
very unlikely.
Not intentionally.
Besides, changelings helps.
Shut up.
It was the changelings that helped get us out, so I don't mind making new changeling friends here. Holiday and Sungrazer, I won't even make you roll. How the fuck did she know you were changelings?
I'll just nod my head.
Because she's not a changeling.
He's a sociable one.
I think we've established that we know so little about mages that they could basically say or do anything and be like, oh, okay.
Alright.
Probably.
Alright, would you come in?
Yeah, thanks.
So, yeah, she leads you in, and, yeah, it's in a bit of a state, but, you know, it's such a nice space, and the the local business, the local business registration system is really friendly and it's really nice, and they really wanted to help us get settled in. And well, I'm surprised it came together this quickly. And she just sort of happily chattering on as she walks through the dust, you know. And it looks like they are still putting things together, but it looks like lots of sort of dark wood paneling on the walls and floors. You know, just they have kind of like a kind of old-fashioned look, but very clean and very new and very polished. As she's leading you down this one corridor, there's actually kind of like one of those glass walls that kind of overlook the main dining area. And she walks you past that and past kind of what looks like, you know, like a mater, not a like a seat, like a seating host kind of podium, and you kind of get a sense of, oh, okay, this is how this works. There are menus on the podium that have already been printed that are easy to pick up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it cool to pick one up?
Oh, she's like, oh right, sure, take one. We're not
Oh,
we're not
okay.
open for a few more weeks, but yeah, and we'll do takeaways for people who maybe aren't so great about our ambience.
Oh, I love it. No, it's
This is a very nice space.
You do walk by near the maitre d' kind of area. There is a sign that says "Silence, please," and that's weird. But looking at the menu, it is like all kinds of. It's tea rather than coffee, but it's so many kinds of tea and so many kinds of caffeine and so many different kinds of tea services from so many parts of the galaxy you have heard of. Anything from like the British high tea to more Eastern tea ceremonial and things you've never even heard of. Because, you know, tea culture has had 6,000 years to develop and a whole lot of systems. And
Oh,
she's
I see
just,
they,
huh?
I said I was saying I see they serve people who like tea quite well.
Yep.
Just probably not to me.
You know, you could always ask. And you know, it looks like the menu's also they also do takeaway, so they can also deliver, and it looks like they have food as well. So yay! So this is going to be a majorly big tea place. So definitely more of a cafe restaurant kind of place. And she just kind of leads you through and to this very kind of, you know, kind of boring kitchen, but it's all like, you know, white tiles and linoleum, but it's very bright and very clean. And it looks like they're still getting things together here, and just like so many vessels for hot water, and just this growing collection of teapots of all different styles and all different cultures. And she leads you past. There's just this sort of little, like, kind of low kind of kitchen table, like not quite high enough to be a counter, so it looks like a place like staff would probably hang out. And there's already a pile of sandwiches there. She's like, I knew I'd have some reason to make some extra sandwiches, so yeah, have a seat.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And she very primly sits on one of the very boring kitchen chairs. And it's like, all right, so what Jasper sent you to us for?
Well, I'm having a bit of an issue that neither of us is equipped to deal with. He thought maybe you would be able to help, but it's, to put it simply, something acting like an AI in my head that I can't get out and I can't get on the same page as. And I've tried almost everything at this point.
All right, so you've done all the, so it's so do you have a plugin?
Yeah.
Okay, and they've tried to wipe it and it just won't wipe?
Yeah, they've wiped it and restored it several times.
All right, let me let me see if I can find Aura. Aura's a Mastigax. So I think the two of us together could figure it, but she's got all the mind stuff and she's got a bit of spirit, so I think we need to work together on this. All right. You just sit tight, have some sandwiches. I'll be right back. Would you like some tea? We have so much. So much.
I'll take you up on that. I think Sungrazer will too.
What is the strongest brew in your entire collection?
Oh, that would be the Calderon Black. Let me get you some of that. And she just very Klaus, you're pretty sure, Klaus and Petruchio, you're pretty sure she's not using any kind of speed magic. She's just so good at making tea that it just seems to happen at a lightning pace. And suddenly there is a tea service and has a little digital timer on it, so you know when it is ready to go. And it looks very
amazing.
kind of English low tea, so it's the little ceramic pot with little teacups, and so, all right, I'll be right back. And
Much obliged.
She shuffles off back into the rest of the establishment, and you hear her calling out, "Oora! Oora!" It's like,
what's a manticore?
I was just thinking. Staring at the steeping timer, waiting for it to go on.
It's got 5 minutes. It feels so long, but it smells so good.
I'll just waft.
Okay.
Caldera is a verge system. Petruchio, you have heard of it because that's where Granny Flax currently lives.
Oh.
So apparently they are already making a name for themselves in tea farming? Which means they must have done something about the dinosaur problem.
Dinosaur problem?
There's dinosaurs on her planet.
Okay.
The verge is strange, people.
I can't really be surprised. I was just not expecting the words dinosaur problem.
So I have been to Caldera, but nobody else in Carve has?
Maybe.
Possibly? Probably.
If it had any military
Probably
force
not.
in the last 90 years, there's a chance.
There's any market for illicit goods, probably.
Holiday? Actually, with that, roll your politics. Roll intelligence politics.
Ooh, dice. Numbers. Do I get to add my eidetic memory bonus?
Sure. For military gossip.
18?
Okay, so Caldera's like, oh, you've heard it, but they don't have a military and you're like, where did I hear about Caldera? And then you remember the Megacorp subsidiary that used to own all of the rights in that system bought a terraforming bomb, which is basically a massive nanite bomb that takes all the matter in a 1 mile radius and turns it into a city within 24 hours.
Neat.
And the Megacorp was in such dire financial straits and had been having so many problems because you have heard of the system. They had a Marxist rebellion and won. So back when the company was still just hanging on by a thread, they had this bomb that was easily $100 billion credits worth of technology. They hired protectorate military soldiers to guard it, disguised as their own security force. They were so terrified about something happening to this bomb.
Interesting.
Which actually happened in the New York City space game, and we found out later that they were like, are they going to try stealing the bomb? We want to see them try to steal the bomb. Oh, they're not trying to steal it? Damn.
So, Klaus, what's a manticore?
Manticore. Okay, kids, Mage 101.
Let me get a pen.
There are pens on the table.
I've got
And
my
the
little
crossword
notepad out.
First of all, don't piss off a mage because they're all assholes. Most of the time they won't seem like it, but we are.
What is this we are speaking of?
Mages.
Which is a set that includes the element Klaus.
Yes.
Can
Okay.
you say that in the future? That would make this process
We've,
more.
we've established I am a Moros mage. Okay?
No, we have established that you are a Moros, but and that Moros was a field of study. Magic was not
Moros is-
included in this explanation until just now.
Okay.
If only there were some kind of massive book we could read that would explain all of this, but there isn't, so.
If there was any tea or I could drink,
Well.
I'd probably be snorting it now. Fortunately or unfortunately, I can't.
Checking this.
Basically, there are different paths of magic. They are different fields of study. I'm a Moros. This lady we've just met is an acanthus, which means that she knows things in a different sphere than I do, or different spheres, technically. And
Not a houseplant.
She might still be a houseplant.
I'm really not qualified to be giving you all this talk.
And the voice in your head is just, no, just tell them all bullshit. Just bullshit them. They won't know. It'll be hilarious.
So, yeah,
Sure.
Acanthus, possible houseplant. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Some mages used to be houseplants. Sounds legit.
I mean, hell, I was a power conduit. You know, anything can happen.
So how does the manticore fit in?
Pronounced mastigos. I've only ever actually read it until now, so I don't know how to pronounce these things. I'm sorry.
That can totally be in character, though.
Okay.
Oh, you're just making up
I'll
words.
write it out and like it's not manticore. This does not say manticore.
Oh,
Anyway,
It's
that's
mastigos.
mastigos. It's another
Fancy.
field of study. Different field of study than Moros and Acanthus. Okay?
And mastigoses are good with spirit and minds.
I believe so.
That's what she said.
That is what she said.
Klaus, roll, intelligence, and occult.
My stupid brain looked at this earlier and did not file that information away.
Mage is a lot.
Mage is a lot. I was more worried about
That's
my
part
character
of why,
than all of the different things because I didn't know I would be explaining everything to people today.
So players, Cherokee and Klaus started out as pre-gens because this was gonna be a module with pre-gens, and then we just sort of kept going. So this is part of why Klaus isn't in an order, was because I don't want to force someone to read the whole mage book before their first game. But yeah, so what'd you roll?
Not well. This is intelligence, yeah.
Intelligence and occult.
Yeah. That's an 8.
Well, you got one success.
I got one
so-
success.
So the basics is the mastigos are. I wrote this down because I also
I had
can't
this
remember.
pulled up earlier and I don't anymore.
Not houseplants.
So
What
the
are they?
mastigos are all about mind and space. Typically, the mages who mainly do spirit stuff are the. You're actually having trouble remembering the name of the spirit mages? Oh, the Thrysis, that's right. The Thrysis shamans who do spirit and life. There are not a lot of those in Eden. You've heard that the gauntlet is super thick, and that, you know, similar to why there aren't that many werewolves, there are not that many Thrysis here. But, you know, mages are not only limited to the spheres that their path dictates. It just means that those are the ones they're better at. So, you do also know that, that's about the limit.
Okay.
Mastigos, time and space. Okay.
Or
Or
was
mind
it
and
also
space.
It's mind in space.
Is
Is
there
the
anything?
tea
Is there any
ready?
chance that I know anything about mages at all, given that I've actually known a mage for a while, and
Well,
also employed one?
Well, you've known this mage for a while.
I've known this mage for a while.
And this
No
mage-
Granny Flax though.
I do know Gravity Flex.
Yeah, roll Patricio. What does your have?
I have a dot of a cult. I don't know.
Yeah, making a intelligence occult roll.
Sure.
I too have a dot of a cult.
Nope. I really wasn't paying attention.
I too have
Also,
a
this
dot
guy
of a-
really rolls ones a lot.
Oof. Stop using that.
You know, you're pretty sure mages just make this shit up.
But then it turns out to be true.
They can do weird stuff. The organization doesn't seem to make any sense. They're weak in things and strong in things, and sometimes the ones who are weak in things are strong in things. I don't understand.
The one thing you do understand is that all mages are latent control freak assholes. And one of the
Yeah, you
reasons
haven't.
you can
None of you have pissed off Klaus enough to see them be a real asshole, but they can be.
And Patricio, one of the only reasons you still talk to Granny Flax is because she's pointedly controlling her control freak inner nature and not being like that.
I think we're good friends to Klaus. I don't know what you're talking about.
Why else would you let them do sober surgery on you?
There's an implied level of trust there.
Is
Woohoo!
the tea ready?
Yes, the tea is the tea. So it does. The timer doesn't make a noise, but it does count down to 0. And yeah, it is. It is so nice and warm and caffeinated.
I'll be mother.
And it's just a nice dark bitter tea, smoky tea. There's honey and there's sugar and there's milk and milk substitute all on this tray. It's
Klaus, please take this from me before I start drinking straight from the pot.
I take it and pour myself a glass or a cup.
is good tea.
And then I set it over here.
I mean, Patricio could eat it, but they have to spend a willpower.
Vitae.
Oh, a vitae now? Okay. Must have been
A blush of life is a vitae. So to keep it
Oh.
down, I did a vitae.
It does smell like very good tea. And there's like
Do
some,
the sip and spit.
and there's some biscuits. Because they're clearly Kiwis, so it's biscuits. And eventually, what were their names again? Eventually, Kia comes back into the room with her sister Aura, who looks very much like they are sisters, only her hair is a sort of a straight black that is still coiffed up under a little kerchief, but still full black corseted mourning goth Victorian wear. Because it must be in fashion in someone's system. That's a
It's
fun
in
thing to-
fashion here. I don't know what you're talking about.
Woohoo! So, and what do you want? Says Aura. She sort of
Sorry,
regards-
I'm very thrown off because my D&D character in my other game is named Aura.
Oh, sorry.
My brain is not processing this well, but it's okay.
So, what do you lot want? We are busy. What do you want?
I'm sure you are. I need help, please. Jasper told me that you might be able to figure out the thing that is. Wow, I'm sorry. I've totally lost all of my
Colonize-
capability to communicate at all.
Colonized your brain.
Because the AI is saying, this is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes
Would
on
you like me to
and on,
translate?
my friend. And it's
Somebody else, please explain.
Our
It's being annoying.
our friend Klaus had a run-in with what we thought was an artificial intelligence that has taken up residence in their plugin space.
Mhm.
And despite repeated attempts to remove it through technical and technological methods, it's still there and it's annoying. And our next best guess was that it was something magical in nature. Now, we put our heads together, and it's not anything that would relate to the changelings. So Klaus went and found one of their companions who suggested you might be able to help them with this particular issue.
And she looks at Kia. Kia, so Jasper, were you so helpful? And they're basically having sister talk. She's
Mhm.
like, and they're changelings. Yes, and they're Moros, and that's a kindred. Says Kia.
Oh, you are good. I mean,
I take Flint Razor, not a manticore.
Oh yes, I'm afraid we don't. We may have lacrima later, but we don't have any right now. There
I understand.
is there. We have heard word of teas raised in a similar manner, but we have not been able to confirm this. So, but we'll keep an ear out.
Thank you.
More and Aura's just all right. All right. What she looks at? What's your name again? Moros Mage.
I'm Klaus.
All right. Pull your chair out into the middle of the room. Keep your teacup with you.
I will do that.
So she takes she kind of finds this pole thing. It looks like something that would screw onto a mop or a painting roller. But instead it has something on it that is a piece of, looks like a thick piece of chalk. Because she ain't bending over, she's fully corseted, and she starts kind of tracing a circle around Klaus in chalk. And a few, like, doodads and shapes and weirdness. He's like, alright. And Kia goes over to the wall and picks up, actually goes to the wall, whereas hanging horizontally, like a decoration, takes off one of those brooms that is actually, old-fashioned looking. And then Aura goes to the kitchen wall and picks up this really big, worn wooden spoon with a leather-wrapped handle. And Aura has the spoon and Kia has the broom, and they just sort of both start circling Klaus in a, you don't know what's going on. Like, okay.
We're all just along for the ride.
Occult, like, you don't need a occult roll. There's probably magic ritual shit happening, but you're changeling, so you don't. Actually, let me see. What were their spheres?
I mean, even if we don't fully understand the mechanics of it, it's fascinating to watch.
We're taking notes.
So,
Well, you're taking notes. I'm sipping tea.
Well, one of us has to be the job.
Petruchio, you get absolutely no vibe off this, but magic is weird looking.
Yep.
I mean, you're getting to know the Order Dracul. Magic is weird, or magic is just strange to look at. Some changelings, you kind of get a vibe off Kia. Something about just being in her presence. It reminds you of not necessarily in a bad way, but you were reminded how, like, being in the hedge, time doesn't work right, and things coincide more than they should.
That's neat.
It's just, you just get this weird sense of, like, cause and effect and non-linear time off of, you can't quite place it because you're not sure how this relates to helping Klaus, but it's okay.
Time altering plant.
Time keep on slipping.
Houseplant.
Time altering
Houseplant.
house plant. Yes.
Houseplant.
Sum it up with more powerful than me.
And eventually they stop and are just sort of both staring at you, like unblinking. And Klaus, you look down, and where you thought you saw a floor before, now it almost looked like you're standing on a liquid that is swirling beneath you. You still feel secure in the chair, like it's not going anywhere, you're not sinking, but it's almost like you're in a cauldron.
Okay.
Being circled by two witches.
This is fine.
And you see your own reflection in this swirling water, but also odd shades of glows of light that must be something going on. You're like, okay. So Kia's like, huh, that's so strange. That's... Aura, are you seeing this? And Aura's like, yeah, I'm seeing it. What? And she just sort of looks almost accusatorily at Class, like, what have you been doing? What is that? What? Kia, you've got the prime site. What is it? I've not seen that energy signature before. It's... Well, it's purple. I don't... That's not a thing. It's like, purple's not a magical signature. Is it a changeling? No, it's not a changeling thing.
No, we don't believe in purple.
We would have noticed.
Well,
Also that.
I mean, we do purple, but not like. But I don't think that's us.
well, no, kindred is sort of like humans but paler. Well, I mean, it's not a changeling, but there are other things of the weird that might not want you to see them, but we could see. What is this? It's so strange. It's almost proto prime. It's... what is... and Class, at this point you can kind of almost sense Aura is poking around your head with all the subtlety of that the Mastigos are known for, i.e. no subtlety at all. And the voice in your head is like, hey, quit it! Hey, quit it! Hey, fuck you! Quit it! Fuck you! I'm not leaving!
Well, it
You're
seems to be
doing
working.
something.
Well, we're definitely pissing it off. I don't know if that's actually going to help.
It deserves it at the very least.
And Kia's still sort of... It's like hedge adjacent, but it's not hedge. It's... what is... It's not one of the they that must not be named. I'm quite sure of that. Don't ask me how I know. But it's not that. Because this is some... it's like life. It's like a life magic. But... well, that's the thing about they who must not be named. They can't create life.
I have a question.
And, like, that's why that's why people get kidnapped, because they can't make their own people. So they steal them, and it sucks. But sorry, I know triggers.
All right, it's all right.
What are they that must not be named? Just so that we don't accidentally name one.
You've got about 15 days before one of their pets comes looking for you.
I have 22 days before one of them.
Yeah, I didn't check the clock and the...
I'm fairly certain we're all on the same page about this.
And they are just continuing to stare at Klaus. And they are making their occult rolls. And they are still not coming up with anything. And Kia's like,
Well,
I can confirm it's not a spirit, because I know what those look like, and, well, I know what those look like, even though they don't come round here often. I would have assumed it was a spirit, since they don't seem to do very well here. Well, why not take up residence in someone's brain? But no, it's not. It's definitely got a mind of its own. Kia, I think you're gonna have to... I mean, does this fit into a wider tapestry? And you just sort of hear these two witches just sort of like gabbing to each other.
I'm writing down everything because I have no idea what any of these words mean.
And Kia's like, all right, give me the spoon. And Aura, they trade implements. So now Aura has the spoon and Aura has the broomstick and Kia has the spoon. And she starts what the rest of you see is that she's sort of scraping it along the floor inside of the circle. But Klaus, you see she is actively stirring the cauldron. Alright, Alright, well... So, good news, bad news. It knows what it is. Thus, it is not telling you. This is a smaller piece of a bigger something.
That's not good.
Like,
Hmm.
you're This thing has a purpose tied to its fate? Again, not one that I recognize. I mean, it's... And, like, my fate magic works really well now. Like, Eden's weird that way. But that's probably why they sent me camp this year. I mean, I can do some research. It's definitely magical. But it is an AI, isn't it? Like, you can read its mind. And it's like, yeah, it is an AI, but it's not. But it's not a spirit, and it's not a hedge thing. Except that you say it sort of is, but isn't a hedge thing. And they're just like... Or it just sort of stares at you. What have you been doing? Like, what do you do to attract this kind of... Like, what? Like, you cleared it with Jasper. It's not a ghost, right? Like, what?
It's not a ghost.
I don't know. So,
Would
You got this thing right.
so is someone cooking up magical AIs to torture people with?
maybe.
Well, you haven't slept since you got this thing right.
Not really. I have, but not well.
Have you had any dreams?
Yeah.
So it's not cutting off your access to the dreaming. Okay.
It did show up directly after the convention, though.
After we got out of the Firethorn maze?
Yeah.
Right, mysteriously, surprisingly arriving Firethorn right around the human first people.
Yeah, we heard about that.
And
Klaus,
right after we
Kia kind of looks
the
over.
hedge.
Klaus, what were you dreaming about? Like, what dreams have you had?
It's and I was trying to take notes while you were talking, so I don't know whether or not I recorded it accurately, but it's like working in an alchemical lab, and there's data and a silvery bowl and a weird flame.
Huh. I mean, well, you're a Moro, so you do alchemy.
Yeah.
But, huh. I mean, there's still lots of mythological alchemical substances, but that's really the domain of the Moros, and Jasper couldn't figure it out, so it's not standard Moros stuff.
No, and I'm admittedly not deeply into magic. I
so
don't depend on it most of the time.
It might help. It's a little hard to tell, just because this is so just what is even am I looking like? I've read all sorts of people, supernaturals, mundanes, all sorts, and this is just the scope of this. I'm not. It has masters, but they're not they who must not be named. So I'd be careful. I mean,
Theoretically, I could go into your dream and see what it is.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not dangerous.
It's, I mean, if we work with changelings, it's an option. But I would also suggest. I mean, I don't know how deeply into your path you've walked, but you are a Moros, so alchemy is sort of your inherent birthright's not quite the right word, but I mean it's part of your pattern. There's the grave loam and there's the alchemy. So
Question mark.
maybe follow that. It might shed some light or help you form some connection with it on some level. Because I mean, if you were just telling me your dreams, and I say, well, duh, that's how Moros interpret things for alchemy, because material plane, all that. But what I'm seeing here, it's like, it vibes with you on some level, and that might be it. But, like, congratulations, whatever's taken up residence in your brain is not something I've ever seen before, and we've seen a lot. Whew.
Great. Well,
It might be red herrings, but don't forget the clues it dropped about what it was, even if it's lying.
true. I think I need to do some research of my own, perhaps, and see if I can get this motherfucker to talk.
But yeah, just
But-
strangest energy. It's not quintessence. It's not essence. It's not glamour. I know what those look like. It's not vitae. I've seen that too. Yeah, I don't. It's something like that, but it's none of those things. And it is an AI. It is a construct, but it's not. It's alive. Well, alive. It's an entity.
Ask a question.
Oh, sure, love.
Don't want to interrupt it. You said it was hedge adjacent-ish in some.
It reminds me of hedge energy, except it's a creation. Like glamour's all about
Sure.
glamour. It's not really a life-giving energy.
Is it more adjacent to that than any of the other forms of energy you just mentioned?
Is it a changeling?
It's almost like it's the parts of glamour that glamour's missing. Like it's almost like I'm looking at a photo like if you've ever seen like physical like film photos. It's like a photo
Yeah.
negative of it.
I'm wondering if
Like it
maybe
complements it, but it's the reverse. It's just so strange. Like
just
glamour
wonder
is
if
just
it's like
glamour is just very kind of ephemeral in nature. This is more concrete. Because I mean a contract. You fulfill the contract, it's over.
I just wonder
it
if it's,
evaporates. This is sticking around.
if it's not something from those ones. Maybe it's something intended for those ones, like a weapon
Possibly.
towards them instead of the other way around.
Possibly, it'd be.
There were some very clever changelings handy with creating AI who wanted to send one of these across the hedge.
Or very clever mortals, which
That too.
you don't have to be a mage to do alchemy. Someone might have unlocked something and then pumped it into your brain. Klaus, sorry.
Got unlucky, I guess. Or targeted. Might have been targeted.
Possibly. I mean, what do you? I mean, what's?
Well,
Not to ask a personal question, but what have you all been up to in this system? Like, what's your jobs?
we did punch God in the face.
Oh, which
We
one?
kind of did.
Which
Um,
one?
One of the ones that you shouldn't talk about.
Ah.
You heard about what shut down the con?
Yeah,
couple
we heard
days
about
ago?
that after the fact.
Yeah, that was us.
Oh, your Carve?
Yeah.
Oh, right. We've we've heard some things.
So.
And at this point, Aura has just sort of put down the broom. Is like, I'm going back to work, and just like, peace out.
Fair enough.
She's like,
So maybe I
"Alright."
did something stupid that I didn't know was stupid.
I mean, from what I've heard, you do good work. No good deed goes unpunished.
You did kill a huntsman last week.
Oh, good for
Yeah,
you.
but this motherfucker was around before that.
True. But it's an escalation.
From what they said, it clicked with you. It could be that it was floating around and just you happen to be very compatible.
Possibly.
Or it was part of that program we shut down, and it latched onto you because you were the only one in there that had headwear that was alive.
Yeah.
But what's orthogonal to the hedge? I mean, are you talking angels?
Well, I mean, there's like ethereal beings. I mean, okay, I mean, mages, we don't like to talk about it, but I mean, the abyss is real and everyone can see it, so it's sort of stupid not to say it. Well, that does have a reverse, but they really do, I mean, possibly.
It does call itself my guardian angel sometimes, though I'm loath to admit that would be even possible.
And it's definitely not abyssal, but I don't know, something about it seems. Also, a lot of those things tend to be like from the mage, like a projection, kind of like how mage paradox can create abyssal things or summon them by accident. It's like a whole Goshal thing that some master ghosts are really into, but let's not bother Aura anymore. Yeah, it's just that's not the sense I'm getting, but I mean, there's an infinite variety in the ethereal plane, or what is theorized as that plane, as there is in the abyss, and the abyss is all sorts of bested. So yeah, I mean, I'll do some more research, but this is, I mean, congratulations, it's difficult to stump us.
Sure, that
I'll
makes
take that
Klaus
as
feel
some
better.
sort of win.
More tea, Klaus.
Oh yes,
Sure.
drink up, friends.
Thank you for taking a look.
Yeah, I mean, Jasper's been really nice.
Jasper's a good guy.
Our husbands had more chats with him, but he's not a Moros. It's a long story.
That's what Jasper said too. One day I'm sure I'll hear it, but now's not the time.
Yeah, Gratzy's real nice. I mean, you'll see once we open. Just, you know, follow the rules, or just get a takeaway. Like, you know, you're local. We're all neighbours.
Yeah.
It's much nicer neighbourhood than the last one in Sandon.
I imagine the bar was not very high, but this is a very nice neighborhood.
Yes,
We
such a
love
nice
being set
city.
up here.
It's a real nice city. So yeah, anytime, you know, well, me and Aura know what you look like, so come hang out. You know, I guess keep me posted. I mean, I'm curious to see what this is in case it's maybe it's a local thing. I mean, Eden's got a lot of weird shit going on, but
That's true.
I'll absolutely drop by. Although, if I pick up anything here, I'm not going to eat it here. I assume you wouldn't want me to.
I mean, it'd be a lot easier to satisfy kindred patrons and customers here than in the last place. But I mean, we're not. It's not a wreck. Sorry, but we'll see what we can do. But I mean, Lacrima's technically an alcohol, and we don't have a liquor license.
If you want to get one, I'll hand her my business card.
Oh, sure.
What
I mean,
aside?
we don't usually, but I mean, we've got a chance to expand a bit here and a bit more safety, so. And she just sort of tucks it. I mean, it's been, like, shockingly quick getting all the deeds together and getting every, well, I mean, not that much of a shock since I'm on Acanthus, but, I mean, I didn't, you know, we may have, you know, helped things along in our own way, but even then, it's like, Eden really wants people to succeed. It's really nice. Like, even the public assistance housing, like, we're probably going to move in upstairs, but it's just like, the social safety net here, it's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah, I've never quite managed to figure out who runs Eden exactly, but
Really? But you're a kindred.
I would imagine.
I've been working on it.
I would
Oh,
imagine Eden runs Eden.
don't get me wrong. We have a perfectly reasonable mayor.
Yes, I've heard of. Is it true they're kindred?
Yes.
Huh.
They don't make a secret of it.
Well, I know, but it's just after where we've been, I'm like, no way. But yeah, so yeah, well, you know, all kinds, as long as you follow the house rules, all kinds are welcome here.
I look forward to your opening.
Likewise.
Yeah, us too. GM +1 from Vampiric Yoda. Thank you.
We probably won't be in town when the place opens because we have that trip we have to take.
Hopefully we'll be back.
We'll be back. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Like in a general sense. Because these trips, you know.
Yeah. Anytime you get in a ship, there's always that chance.
Yeah, I mean.
Indeed there is.
Oh, the abyss.
Which reminds me, Klaus, have you and I gone over firearm safety yet?
No.
We'll do that before we leave.
Okay.
All right, so it is 10:17. You have met the blatant but subtle and reference NPCs I wanted to introduce for weeks. You know, chat, see if you can figure out what this is a reference to. But, well, actually, no, because not all three of them showed up yet. So anyway, I love these NPCs. They are fun.
Oh, that reminds me. Is there? I know that you guys are local firefighters. Does there anybody keep track of a firethorn? Like, are there samples of firethorn anywhere?
Samples, you're not so sure, but there is basically just a website database that keeps track of all of the firethorn outbreak locations, going back centuries.
I will meet up with one of the fire captains and say, "Hey, I may need a couple of vials of firethorn seeds."
No.
That's not gonna happen.
No. So if you make it known that this is what you want, people will stop you before you even make it. Like, no.
Oh. I will just check the firethorn database and see if I can, before we leave, and see if I can figure out if there's an outbreak going on anywhere nearby.
Well, it is just basically with it really only encompasses the city limits. The website can give you kind of give you an overlook, but you can do more data manipulation at the Broggy Library, where all that data is more accessible and they have more software toys to play with.
Yeah, I'll be doing that before we leave.
Yeah.
Seeing if I can find a firethorn outbreak as it's occurring, collect a couple of seeds, and then report the outbreak.
You don't really get a sense of a way to predict it.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
That's okay. I was going to take it with me to Lagoy and use it for something amazing.
Let's weaponize it. That never goes wrong.
No,
a fairy nuclear deterrent.
I was going to use it with Fortress of Thorns.
I'm gonna say no.
That would be fun.
Okay. That's not a good idea. Also, no one's really ever established that Firethorn has seeds or creates seeds. No one has ever really. There's no record of it flowering. It's just vines with thorns on them.
Well, somebody needs to be doing some botany work.
And there is
Very dangerous.
There is actually so much of that data. In 2,000 years, no one has ever seen a firethorn flower.
Maybe you can get some help from one of these houseplant mages. They would know their botany.
The acanthus are just houseplants with anxiety.
And magical powers.
Perhaps
Fate,
the magic
time, and anxiety.
Well,
But
also, you could have just told us you were a mage. I wouldn't have cared.
Could have, but there's no fun in that.
Oh, I
I
know.
actually just don't
but
want
I'm
people
discreet.
on my ass. I think Petruchia is the only one who knows all of my secrets, or most of them anyway.
Well, I mean, the pirates told them what happened when you were on their ship, so you can't really hide it.
Yeah, well.
No, we'll do firearm safety and make sure you have a gun before we leave.
Woohoo!
Got it.
Not that you'll be able to carry it on Lagoi out in the open legally, but
Oh, I have ways of carrying things.
okay.
I'm going to passively, not actively, check what the sisters' digital footprint looks like, just to get a sense of it.
It's pretty much what they reported. They had a cafe called the Three Witches. They are sisters.
They're literally
I mean,
sisters.
yeah.
Right.
They also look similar, like same skin tone, different haircuts, but just the structure of their faces. They're clearly sisters. They are both legally married to a man named Grazi. So that happens. And they altogether rented a cafe that they called the Three Witches in Sandon. You can also find news reports of it being firebombed, but the news reports say it was firebombed by changelings.
Slander and calumny.
Say what?
Slander and calumny.
Probably. Since this is Kia pretty much directly said that the changelings helped them escape.
Yep.
So,
They clearly know what's up.
and they're
So
basically when they came to Eden System after that month-long spaceship journey, where they came claiming political asylum, the two ladies and their husband. And they've just been living in the public assistance housing. And just doing all the regular like Eden City business stuff.
So are they doing this on this place on a public loan, or?
Yeah, there are a lot of public business loans going on.
Nice.
And especially probably the political asylum probably didn't hurt their case. And from what it looks like, aside from all the terrorist attacks on their old place, which ended in the firebombing, but it didn't stop there, or didn't start there. So they'd been getting harassed and graffitied and stuff like that, it looks like. I'm not even gonna... I could make you roll for it, but I don't care. Also, this is all stuff they'd just tell you, or at least Kia would tell you.
Yep.
She's so friendly. So
I would be terrified to piss her off because I imagine that she would stop being friendly.
So which is the one that's not married?
Well, they're both
They're both married.
The two sisters are married to the same male presenting person.
Right.
Who is a man presumably named Grazi.
Got it. Wait, there are two sisters, not three sisters.
Yeah, two sisters, but it's three witches, so maybe the husband is the third witch.
Got it. Because we already know he's a mage from the conversation.
He's not.
Oh, he's not.
I'm pretty sure Jasper said he's not a mage himself.
Well.
Still can be counted among the witches, because technically only one of them is a witch anyway, but...
Can be a witch without being a mage.
Can you be a ghost?
You can definitely be a witch without being a mage.
They're called the Circle of the Crone.
Exactly.
Or the Acolytes of the Void, depending on what neighborhood you're in.
Klaus, can you be a ghost and a mage?
Technically, I think so.
Hmm.
I mean...
You look
I
over
learned
your
most
shoulder.
of what I know from a ghost, so yes.
She's somewhere.
Yeah. We'll find her someday.
Well, I mean, you only have to call her, but do you
Yeah.
really want her to deal with these people? She's, doing her ghost thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost mages. Interesting.
So yeah, it is 10:26. Is there anything else anyone wants to wrap up? Now, you know what? No, it's 10:26. If there's anything anyone else wants to do last minute before leaving the system, we will do it in 2 weeks. So I will call that game tonight. Thank you for letting me play my Kiwi NPCs who were gonna be Londoners, but then my voice said, no, they're Kiwis. And I'm like, okay. As long as it's consistent, mouth, we can do this. I apologize if I have offended all of New Zealand, because I really like you. And I like your humor, and I like your TV, especially the free TV on your free websites. Oh my god, New Zealand is awesome.
And it would have been really nice to visit New Zealand last year, but there was a problem.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I got to virtually visit New Zealand.
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, so yeah, this is Exit to Eden, a world of darkness in space. So this is NWoD splats in a far-flung sci-fi space opera cyberpunk world 6,000 years in the future, where humans have colonized the cosmos, and then after the interdimensional fairy aliens tried to conquer the galaxy, the whole supernatural veil masquerade thing fell, and all the Supernats are out now, and people hate them, and firebomb their establishments. Firebomb their nice tea shops.
Shameful.
Mean.
And then blame the changelings for it.
And then blame the changelings. Like, what the fuck?
Shameful.
To be fair, we do break things a lot. It's kind of one of our things.
Well,
But not tea shops.
I mean,
tea shops run by acanthuses plants? What?
I don't know if we would burn down a tea shop run by plants. That seems rude even for us.
And yeah, so when these splats intermingle, hilarity ensues.
Yeah, because we have no idea.
And an Eden system has excellent social safety net and government loans, public loans for new businesses and political asylum and actual, like, nice subsistence housing. And, well, they're all gonna have to leave this and go to a nightmare called Limos. And possibly save other Supernats.
So pumped.
Yoo-hoo! Adventure!
Not too
Maybe.
exciting.
So yeah, if you haven't noticed, I am the GM, and my brain is rapidly approaching full mush, and then I'll have to go lie down on an ice pack for a while all this turns into VODs. So that's me. Follow us on @MagicFishRadio on Twitter. Well, follow me @MsChryzilla on Twitter. This is what we do. Next week, we will not be running this game because I get my first vaccine dose, which means I will still be mush next week. Possibly just a puddle of ooze. We'll see. But a pile of ooze with mounting antibodies, which is the important part. So next week, Markirkwi who could not be here today. Usually she plays Dune, a wolf blood from the Wolf Country. She'll be running something. I don't know what. Could be Demon Hunters. Could be something else. I'm open to anything and might not even be conscious. So yay. So this we will skip a week for this campaign, but something will run in this space next week, and it will be fun. Woohoo! And then in maybe 6-ish weeks, we are doing our Dark Crystal one-shot, because it's my birthday, and I'm going to drive that bus off a cliff if I want to. And we are still open to accepting maybe another new player or two of people who want to play, because half of our regulars have 80s movie trauma, which is valid, because it's a fucked up movie, and it traumatized a lot of people.
I've just never actually seen it.
I mean, we could do another watch party, because it's a
fun.
wacky movie. But yeah, so watch the space if you like Dark Crystal or hate it. You know, I'll take hate views. That's fine. We will banhammer
Hate
any
views
trolls,
are
though.
still views.
I will
and,
banhammer the
yeah.
fuck out of you, though. So
Regardless of whether or not I'm playing, I will be in chat, so don't try bullshit.
You might be running chat that night. We'll see.
That would be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, so hi, Ms. Chrysalis. Follow us on Ms. Chrysala. Follow us on social media. We do things. We also do craft streams on weekdays on my lunch break. Sometimes
Craft
just
streams
me.
are a good time.
Yeah. Anyway, or I can break many of your players' moves from my Oh, yeah. I'm not sicking Arcane the Sage's movie collection on you. Oh no. Whew, expert on Asian cinema, and wow, there's a lot I didn't know about Asian cinema until I met him, and whoa. Anyway, so while I go look for someone to raid, Holiday, who are you when you're not a changeling who's trying to learn about mages from the least knowledgeable mage ever?
Zardoz, I am at Once a Future Doctor on Twitter. I've got projects in the wind. They'll be fun.
Woohoo! Okay, Petruchio, who are you when you're able to drink the tea?
Yep. I'm Josh or Neme or Nemex. And I'm now fully vaccinated. Although I still have to, there's still a mandated waiting period, but I've had both doses.
And Sungrazer, who are you when you're not tweaked out on supernaturally supplemented caffeine?
From houseplants.
From houseplants. Who better to run a
I'm
tea shop?
right. I'm Puka. I'm Puka Gar on Twitch and Discord, and I'm here for the shiggles. And I'm also fully vaccinated. Yeah.
Just so jealous of all of you.
You'll get there.
I'll get there. Okay, and Klaus, who are you? And you're not pretending to be a doctor who pretends to be a drug dealer.
That's not pretending. I am a drug dealer. When I'm not being Klaus, I am Dracus, and I mean you can find me on various social media as actual Dracus, just like I am in chat here. I've been posting art on Instagram recently, which I'm quite proud of, but that's about that. I student most of the time, so.
Awesome. And soon I'm gonna figure out how Nightbot works, and after that, it has been suggested that we then open our Discord for fans and followers, and not just so we can. Well, I mean, we will still use it to organize our bullshit, our in-game bullshit, but you know, why not open it to fans?
It would be nice to talk to you all, not in chat,
All 5 of our fans.
There are slightly more than 5.
Yes, and I appreciate all of them, and yeah, it would be nice to chat with them. As long as I don't have to use the banhammer, which I will use. Alright, so Norse Meat is on doing and they're performing Agamemnon, and I kind of want to see this. And Norse Meat has rated, is I think the only streamer to rate us before, so that'll be fun.
God's good people.
Yeah, Zardoz has been on his channel. He is fun. He does a lot of mini stuff and a lot of mythology stuff, and it's fun.
Sounds fun.
They're doing a live reading of Agamemnon tonight.
Yes. Alright, so raid command, go. So chat, thank you for distracting yourselves with us tonight. We know you have a lot of options to distract yourself on Twitch. Thank you for going with Magic Fish Radio pending. So until next week, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, get vaccinated if at all possible, and we will see you next week. Bye.